Aki, the hero once hailed as the strongest warrior in a death-defying battle against the demons, thought it was all over as he lay dying. Yet in his final moments he witnessed the brutal truth. There was an even more powerful class of demons known as the Eight Calamities, a force humanity never truly understood, though that was not their fault. Aki still bore the weight of it all, blaming himself for failing to live up to his title as the strongest. But before his consciousness faded, he wondered if this was truly the end for such a legendary warrior. The last image he saw was a female demon reaching out toward him. Aki thought she meant to finish him off for slaughtering so many of her subordinates, and then everything plunged into a thick, suffocating darkness. Just when he thought death had finally come, a blinding light appeared as brilliant as a sun in the middle of the night, and he opened his eyes inside a completely strange body. The sound of frantic footsteps and stern shouting echoing through the vast room made him realize with a jolt that this was no battlefield, but a training facility undergoing inspection. He reached up to touch his new face, feeling every breath as something so real, and he was stunned to see it wasn't his own. The strong, handsome face of yesteryear was gone. All that remained was a small, weak body, leaving him desperate as he asked himself who he was and where he was. Looking around, the world was no longer shrouded in the darkness of war, but in the city of Hachiraku. Where skyscrapers rose up amidst sturdy walls, the captain of the 3rd Squad, Jaidu, was sternly speaking about the upcoming warrior assessment. He recounted the bloody past of humanity in the year 3069, when 6 giant constellations fell upon the ancient stelae, ushering in the apocalypse for Earth and the emergence of the demon race that slaughtered mankind. Humanity was forced to find a way to fight back by transplanting demon hearts to create weapons to use against them. At that moment, the name Aki was mentioned, but it had been 65 years since then. The man once called the King, the strongest warrior, had led humanity against the tide of demons in a battle that lasted for weeks, turning the sky and earth black. In exchange, they got 65 years of peace until today. Hearing this, Aki went numb as everything seemed to shatter in his mind upon realizing he had traveled 65 years into the future, while Jaidu continued speaking. His voice lowered with a hint of sorrow as he told them that humanity had forever lost a great hero, one who fell in the battle against the 7 calamity-level demons. That great war is known to later generations as the Dawn Battle, a symbol of faith and a new beginning for humanity, but Aki knew better. Everything they believed was a mistake. The enemy back then was not the 7 calamities, but the 8 calamities, a demon class even stronger and far more terrifying. A humanity that had lived in peace for 65 years still did not know how close they were to the abyss. Jaidu clenched his fist, his voice ringing out with conviction as he affirmed that without those warriors of the past, there would be no world today, no peace, and no country. All the recruits below shouted in unison, "Understood!" The sound echoing like a wave of momentum, but only Aki, who truly knew the truth of the past, whispered the words 8 calamities in a voice bordering on despair. Soft as it was, the words still reached Jaidu's ears. He immediately stepped forward, his tall figure and mountain-like pressure making others dare not lift their heads. His cold gaze locked onto Aki as if trying to see through the person in front of him, and his voice dropped low, filled with killing intent, as he asked if Aki truly understood the meaning of the word warrior. Aki froze, unsure whether to reveal his true identity. Deep down he knew that even if he spoke, no one would believe him. It was ironic that the body he had inhabited also bore the name Aki. To Jaidu, it was an insult, an act of blasphemy against the name of the legendary hero. He placed a hand on Aki's shoulder, looking down with a contemptuous, angry expression. In his eyes, the boy was just a useless recruit, a weakling who couldn't even finish basic training, yet dared to carry the name of the greatest person in history. Immediately after, a blow as strong as thunder struck, sending Aki crashing backward. Lying on the floor with his whole body numb, Aki could only helplessly stare at the ceiling, feeling the weakness of this new body. A shell of a body, no different from an empty husk. Jaidu turned away coldly. Before leaving, he dropped a sentence as cold as steel. The name Aki was already marked for the upcoming warrior assessment. Then he turned around and shouted, "All troops, follow orders!" The great doors swung open. The sound of boots marching in unison rang out, and Jaidu barked orders that filled the space. Everyone immediately moved toward the assessment site. Luckily, this place was not entirely without mercy. A kind boy came over to check on him, asking, "Are you okay?" Aki, looking withered in this new identity, was still alive. This was the beginning of a fateful meeting between kindred spirits. Your name is Aki? Wow, I never would have expected that. I'm Lantumo. Nice to meet you, said Lantumo, a warrior participating in the assessment. However, some still showed their disdain. How shameless to dare share a name with the hero Aki. A girl with white hair curled her lip in mockery. What a brat, he doesn't know his place. Does he think having the same name means he'll have the same power? She was Tudulu, another warrior in the assessment. Having said that, she tossed her hair and swaggered away, leaving Aki lying there, grinding his teeth, finding her tone unbearable. What is with that arrogant attitude? What does my name have to do with her anyway? Noticing Sino's expression was a bit strange, he hesitated. You don't know her either? Out of all the warriors this year, she might be the one. Considered the strongest. Looking at the arrogant back that Tudulu left behind, Sino knew the rumors about that girl. Tudulu was known as the unfilial Rakshasa of Hachiraku City, the most outstanding martial arts family, which was the Two family. Aki's expression changed slightly, his brow furrowing. The name felt somewhat familiar. Sino couldn't let him lie on the ground, so he pulled him up. Thanks. Aki had barely steadied himself when a blinding light enveloped the two of them. A girl with pink hair excitedly stepped forward with a camera in her hand. Oh, the connection between two men is the most captivating thing ever. Seeing both their eyes fixed on her, she smiled sheepishly. You guys don't mind me. They continued. Aki's gaze was sharp, staring intently at the newcomer. A cautious and guarded tone escaped his lips. Who are you? But right after, Sino pointed out that the light had come from the girl's camera. Were you just taking pictures? Aki jumped up as if his tail had been stepped on. Huh? You've got it all wrong. She also quite naturally admitted, yeah, that's right. The pink-haired girl didn't forget to introduce herself. I'm Tomoe. It's a pleasure to meet you guys. She looked at the two of them dreamily with a strange glint in her eyes. It was the blinding light of love radiating from you two that attracted me here, she imagined in her own little world, seeing them sparkling with flowers and flair. Tomoe's expression turned into excited drooling. What excellent material! Aki, however, confirmed that this person was completely harmless. What a total dork. They had to rush to the physical fitness assessment area to avoid a penalty for being late. Aki cracked his knuckles and neck, looking sinisterly intimidating with that physique. I'm probably the strongest warrior here, he thought. Even as they were discussing warriors nearby, it was infuriating to be judged at this level. Are they looking down on me too much? I've got to show them what I'm really made of. He stepped onto the field as the referee called out. He held the starting gun high. The first test was endurance running. As the shot rang out, everyone bolted. It began. Aki's eyes were dangerous, filled with an intense, burning desire. All right. Time to take the lead and shatter the record. He was panting and breathless, but he finally did it. He set the new record. Aki crossed the finish line last, shattering the record for the slowest time ever. I was so exhausted he collapsed flat on his face to the laughter of the crowd. Hold on. Damn, this body is in terrible shape. It didn't stop there. Other tests that seemed successful were hard to predict. The second test, grip strength, began. Aki ranked last again. My wrist is sprained. Oh, it hurts like hell. The third test, jumping power, began. He only jumped 1 meter. Worse than a girl. Tudulu looked at him with utter disdain, not wanting to see more of such stupidity. A lightning bolt struck Aki, pushing him into the abyss. Aki's final fitness assessment ranking was the worst in history. He was so desperate that he felt like he was surrounded by nothing but disappointment. Sino came over to comfort him. Hey man, you okay? Tomoe kept holding her camera, feeling regretful. It seemed like it was the last time she'd get to take pictures of them. The person in charge of the testing was not happy with those results. Captain, with physical results like that, there's no need for that guy Aki to take the second assessment. He's far too incompetent. We can just eliminate him now. Tsukruaodong just shook his head, refusing flatly, asserting that even though that skinny guy never had a chance from the start, he still had the right to participate in the second round. Perhaps it will be his final test. His face remained unforgiving toward the incompetent. Start the second assessment. The man immediately straightened his back and shouted, Yes, sir! The announcement then echoed over the loud PA system. The next test contents were briefed concisely. The second assessment was for synchronization with the implant gear. Hearing this, the corner of Aki's mouth curled into a mysterious smile. The PA system called the candidates to the test site. Warriors, please move to the assessment area. Aki was determined not to give up. The synchronization rate test. He was sure he had a chance. He was confident he would pass with his natural instincts. 65 years ago, the sync rate was consistently 96%, the highest that ever existed. His eyes burned with great ambition. He wouldn't quit. This body might be weak, but the sync rate is determined by willpower. I'll definitely shock everyone. The aura around him shifted, making everyone wary. I'll show you all what the sync rate of the strongest warrior is truly capable of. Everyone quickly gathered in a large, spacious room. Aki was equipped with a snug, lightweight suit. This was the implant gear. 65 years later, man, this is light. The big screen displayed the results for the person being tested. Synchronization rate with implant gear, 39%. The crowd gasped. Wow, it really is Tudulu. She actually hit 39%. Some admired her, some were jealous, some were envious. It was everything. This was likely the best performance this year. It really is the Tudu martial arts family. The gap is just that massive. A white-haired girl wiped away a faint bead of sweat, her face glowing thanks to the armor. Tudulu, the laughing Rakshasa. The guys were captivated by her appearance. How could anyone ever pursue a girl as outstanding as her? She's a natural prodigy. Her whole body just seems to glow. The testing device was then detached. Tudulu flipped her hair proudly and stepped down from the platform. With every heroic step she took, the whispers never ceased. She's definitely the strongest this year. As expected of the Tudu family, I heard she was exceptional since she was a kid. The young, energetic boys watched her greedily. No way! She really is a genius. She only put in a little effort, and she's already ahead of all of us. Hey, did you see that just now? Her ponytail looks so beautiful. Damn it, I think I'm in love with her. Right? Good stamina, and pretty too. We really only came here to make up the numbers. She's totally out of our league. As soon as the break room door opened and shut, hiding her from view, Tudulu let out a long breath. Her expression was completely different from her cold exterior. Well done, Tudu. 39%. Everyone saw that, so I must be pretty famous now. She gently fanned her flushed face with her hand. Even though she didn't care about her fans, it was still a little fun. Calm down, Tudulu. Aki was completely unfazed and praised her. That's incredible, reaching a 39% sync rate. Sino joined in, confirming, truly powerful. He was genuinely admiring Tudulu's strength. She really is strong. I can feel the great power beneath that slender frame. Aki agreed. I also feel she's really strong. Hearing that, Sino curiously studied his expression. She's seriously strong. I can feel an immense power hidden beneath that slender frame. Aki agrees. I feel it too. She's definitely strong. Hearing that, Sino curiously studies his expression. You don't seem nervous at all, huh? You shrug without hesitation. I'm fine, I'm used to it. This nonchalant remark left Sino feeling puzzled. Used to it? Afterward, the others had to step up. The results showed that many warriors only achieved a low synchronization rate during their first implantation. The body endures agony before the final evaluation is given. A 12% synchronization rate, having successfully withstood the violent surge of power from the demon core. Some gave up because they couldn't take it and were immediately disqualified, while for someone like Sino, just a 10% synchronization rate is enough to pass the evaluation. A 24% synchronization rate passed the evaluation, naturally. There were also results that shocked everyone. Although Xue Shuhai was a newcomer, her evaluation result far exceeded many others, trailing only behind Situ Liu. A 30% synchronization rate passed this assessment. Ji Yaotong observed from above, exclaiming, "Seems like there are a few special kids here." The secretary with the hot figure beside him checked the results sheet. That's right, including the ones just now, like Xue Shuhui. In this evaluation, 6 warriors have already achieved a synchronization rate over 30%, which is equivalent to C rank. She praised the performance of the new recruits in this year's batch. Both their physique and synchronization are not bad at all. However, Ji Yaotong didn't show any other emotions. He pensively watched the last person step up. The worst one hasn't gone yet, has he? By now, it was Aki's turn for the evaluation. He looked extremely eager, waiting. The group below was stunned, and the whispering grew even louder than when Situ Liu had stepped up to test. Is that guy Aki? With that body of his, I bet he'll be scared to death. He puked blood after the first test. His results were so pathetic. You calmly stepped onto the platform amidst the loud laughter. Go ahead and laugh. I'll make all of you stare in disbelief. He was looking forward to seeing them get slapped in the face in just a moment. Just wait and see. Stepping onto the platform, Aki pointed to one of the 4 colored stones. I choose the red demon core. This was a demon core, something collected from dead demons after every battle. They are divided into 6 types. The ones most commonly found are red, yellow, blue, and green. 4 types in total. Red represents combat strength, yellow represents defense, green represents recovery, and blue represents agile movement. Even rarer are the demon cores, containing dark magical power, which are purple, and those representing time and space, which are black. That type is rarer than anything else. To this day, no one has dared to confirm its existence with certainty. They handed him the red core. You stepped onto the testing platform and had the wires attached to you. You, Aki, were very confident thanks to the knowledge you gained in your past life. The so-called synchronization rate. As soon as you pressed the red core against your chest, 4 prongs popped out and dug into it. The most important thing is willpower. They took root deep within your veins, as if becoming one with your body. The wires attached to your body are there to measure the blood vessels, whether your willpower is strong enough. It determines the level of pain when the body accepts the demon core, and it determines how well the body can control that core. After waiting a few seconds, the red core on Aki's chest began to glow. Implantation successful. The staff member standing by held a thick cable. Ready? You replied with a calm expression. Done. Just then, in the lounge, the window reflected a red light so brilliant that it filled the room, forcing even Situ Liu to turn and look. Whoa, what kind of crazy reaction is this? Only then did they realize the red light was coming from one person. Is it him? Aki? Give it everything you've got. Push as hard as you can. Let's terrify them. Let's show them what the synchronization rate of the strongest warrior truly is. The others waited excitedly for the spectacular scene he was about to unleash. Whoa, brother Aki, you've really been hiding your strength this whole time. The number on the screen kept changing continuously. The synchronization rate was rising non-stop. It was at 40%. Hearing the current number, Aki smirked. He didn't accept this result. 40%? Ha! I once reached 96%. With that, he took a deep breath, his hands tensing up, then relaxing. He struggled, pushing with all his might. Keep increasing for me. It was so intense that even the stable connecting wires began to shake. The number on the screen seemed to jump up again. It's still going up? This is insane! This overly bizarre sight made Ji Yaotong lose his composure. What is this? Impossible! There's no way he could have such a high synchronization rate. There must be a mistake somewhere. Look, it's still rising. 65%, 70%, 80%. Everyone who had been mocking him earlier was now in a panic. What the hell is going on? Is that brat cheating? There must be something wrong with the equipment. Aki, however, held his head high, posturing proudly. I am Aki, the strongest warrior you all worship. If it weren't for this demon core being such a low rank, and if it weren't for this pathetic body, my power would make you all kneel. This is the gap between me and you brats. While he was unleashing his power, a sudden change occurred. In the blink of an eye, Aki felt as if he had fallen into a deep pool of water. It was as if a hand were gripping his entire pool of power. Every bit of strength he was exerting seemed to be drained away. What's this? Why am I suddenly out of energy? The demon core monitor also malfunctioned and began to crack. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore and spat out a mouthful of blood. Bitterly, he trembled and struggled, refusing to accept his fate. No way, this body! It can't handle the pressure, the examiner shouted. What the hell are you doing? So it really was a problem with the equipment. The number on the screen changed. The synchronization rate dropped back to 10%. The secretary sighed, annoyed by the abnormal readings. Reporting to the captain, the Demon Core synchronization assessment is suspected to have failed because the Demon Core itself was defective, which caused it to shatter like that. The erratic data readings have everyone terrified. Ji Yan was half skeptical upon hearing this. Could it really be a faulty device? He let out a weary sigh at the result. Well, he asked, hesitating. Is the final result 10%? She nodded, looking back at the machine's display. Yes, that's right. Just enough to pass the final evaluation with only a few minutes to spare. He sighed, lamenting such a poor fate. The people nearby, who had been scared out of their wits, began to mock him. I told you, it was just a faulty demon core. He's fine, just exhausted. He just needs a bit of rest. True, but look at his physique. How could he possibly reach such a terrifying level of synchronization? And here I actually thought he was impressive. With that sync rate, that's equivalent to an S-rank captain level. Once it was over, Sino ran over to lift his head, asking, "Bro, are you okay?" Tudulu stared at him with an icy gaze. "Were you scared to death? I actually thought there was someone stronger than me here. I absolutely will not allow that." He struggled, lacking the strength to reply. "Great. Now those kids look down on me again. At least I barely passed." Sino carried him back to his room while Aki couldn't stop thinking. What is happening to me? It feels like it's coming from deep inside my own body. Then, it suddenly drained all my energy. Getting such a pathetic result makes me even more desperate. I've never been like this before. My will should have at least reached 80%. Even if this is the lowest grade demon core, it shouldn't be this hard to keep from shattering. Just as he was lost in thought, the cabin door swung open. A sharp, booming voice commanded, "Attention!" Everyone in the room stood at rigid attention. It was none other than Ji Yan, followed by a few instructors. As the team captain, he offered some words of encouragement to the new recruits. Congratulations on making it to the final evaluation. His gaze sharpened. Regarding the final round, the live combat drill, the test you are forced to undergo no matter how dangerous it gets, you will be facing demons head-on. With that, Ji Yan offered one brief piece of advice. I hope you all preserve your lives and pass the evaluation smoothly. The instructor shouted as soon as he finished his speech. Now let's head to the evaluation area. Aki dragged his weary body outside, feeling half dead. As he struggled past Ji Yan, the captain suddenly spotted an object where Aki had been sitting. He walked over and picked it up. It was a shattered fragment of a red gemstone. Ji Yan watched Aki's slow, retreating silhouette, his hand tightening around the shard. You've made me curious now. This guy is truly mysterious. His every action is so strange. Aki didn't know what would happen next. Let's see how this final evaluation goes. Out in the fog, what will he show us? The daylight hours are the only safe time for anyone to operate without limits. A free bird glided through the air. Leaving behind a few stray feathers, the group arrived at the city gate. The black silhouettes gradually revealed themselves in the light at the base of the gate. The massive doors slowly creaked open on the captain's order. The recruits were curious about the world outside. Wow, this is my first time leaving City 65, so everyone really just lives isolated from the outside? Just like you said. Outside the city, everything was shrouded in fog. The commanders reminded the gawking recruits, "Stop the noise and start moving out. If you have time, check your gear again. Otherwise, you'll die without even knowing why." Aki stared intently at the red demon core on his chest. They replaced it with a new core, but I still don't think the problem is the core itself. At that moment, he felt completely drained, as if something inside him was refusing to accept it. He couldn't stop dwelling on the confusion from earlier. What on earth is going on? Could it be because I transmigrated? He followed the group out into the world beyond the walls. The moment his feet touched the ground, a terrifying shudder washed over him, as if a signal had rippled out from his feet. It felt like a sonic wave traveling faster than anything, reaching the other side of the planet in the blink of an eye, piercing through the ravenous demons searching for food. It traveled through vast, dark, dense forests until it reached a bottomless, pitch-black cave. The end of the signal seemed to be there. The waves pulsed deep into the cave, where a demon sat surrounded by white bones. It seemed to have sensed Aki's presence. It felt an immeasurable, powerful aura. No way. It's higher than me? A demon stronger than me? Aki's face turned pale at the vision flashing through his mind. What was that just now? What kind of demon did I just see? For a split second, deep in my heart, I felt a connection to that demon that I can't explain. While he was dazed, a voice broke his trance. Are you going to stand there, or are you coming? Aki startled, turning to realize he was blocking Tudolu. He shyly scratched his head, smiling awkwardly. Ah, right, sorry. Sino noticed he was distracted and asked, concerned, "Are you okay?" The instructor, Tunap Hutue, shouted to group them together. "You four in the back, you're in a squad together." To their surprise, the people in front had already lined up and were ready to go. "Hurry up!" He stumbled over his feet. "Coming! Let's go!" Tomoe glanced over with curious eyes. "Is this your squad strategy?" Aki quickly denied it. No, that's not it!" Tudolu didn't argue, only warned him. "Just don't get in our way." In reality, she was secretly relieved. That scared me to death. I was worried no one would want to be in my group. Even Sino isn't an issue for this group. "All right, Aki, let's go. Let's do our best." Tomoe, true to habit, records her daily life. Team formation successful. A device is brought outside to the mist-dispelling monument, a solid black stone slab containing a special substance that clears away the fog. The examiner shouts out the rules. The third evaluation round will be held in teams of 4. You all know the rules. It's a hunt in the mist beyond the wall. Everyone receives their gear. Now I will distribute 1 combat knife and 1 mist-dispelling device to each team, the same type as the one at the monument. He continues to guide the group. Your mission is simple. Head into the mist, find the designated lighting points, and plant the device. Clear the mist at the markers and hunt the innominate demons. Each member's individual performance will be assessed to see if you pass. Good luck to your teammates. The mission guidelines are simple, but the reality is quite different. Hunting demons in the fog is the ultimate fear every newcomer must face. In this world completely blanketed by mist, behind the fog, red, hungry eyes await. Warriors must face hidden dangers to become true fighters. It's not just about health and qualifications. You need to keep your composure in the thick mist. Passing requires perfect teamwork. The first step is setting up the mist-dispelling device. Once the fog clears, the demon machines appear. Innominate demons come charging in. If you can coordinate perfectly to take them down, you'll finally celebrate your first demon kill and earn the title of warrior. The intercom voice echoes, "The evaluation is over. Next team, get ready." All evaluations are observed from above. There are quite a few standouts in this group. A girl in a tight outfit with alluring high heels has a clear goal. She's only interested in that kid, the Hue boy. This red-haired woman is the captain of the 3rd squad, Yow. Beside her are other captains of similar rank. What about you guys? The blue-haired man is also deep in thought. Born into a martial arts family and raised as one, he is Ni, captain of the 1st squad. He has the potential to be a very strong warrior, but Dung's perspective is completely different. Watch closely, there's another one. His gaze is locked onto the boy discussing tactics. Deep down, he can't stop thinking about this rookie. He firmly believes, "I checked his demon core that day. There was clearly no problem. So what happened to him back then?" Suddenly, a light tap on his head. Jago stands against the light, teasing him playfully. "What are you thinking about?" Dung blushes and scolds. "Don't call me like that." Jago excitedly teases. "You've only ever let Ni make you blush, Dung. Just her." You guys focus on ensuring the rookie's safety. By the way, there's only one type of demon in the evaluation zone, right? The zone only contains innominate demons, Dung confirms. "Yeah, don't worry, they've planned this very carefully. To prepare for today's exam, we've scoured the whole area around the city. There are no first-class demons anywhere." Jago smiles confidently. "Yeah, if there were any, we promise to protect the people below. We will do whatever it takes to protect these future warriors." Group after group completes the evaluation. This team finished. The mist has receded. The area is cleared. Next team, get ready. Some people whisper, "Is that Tudolu's team? And that weakling Aki is there too?" The group excitedly prepares. "It's our turn." Just as Aki picks up the mist device, a hand reaches out and snatches it away in a flash. Aki is left empty-handed, looking bewildered. "Oh, Tudolu?" She darts forward. "Follow me. Specifically follow someone as excellent as me." He suppresses his annoyance. This kid loves to show off too much, doesn't she? The other 3 have no choice but to try to keep up with her. Tudolu slows down, bends her knees slightly and suddenly vanishes in a blur. She leaps high, does a mid-air roll in front of everyone. Right in the mist, she accurately locates the pedestal to place the device. She quickly slams the core into the pedestal. The mist vanishes instantly. Watching this display, Jago exclaims, "Wow, that's clearly a recovery-type demon core, yet she's just as fast as a wind type. Truly the martial arts lineage at work." The demons lurking nearby are instantly startled. Three at once charge at Tudolu. Aki, running alongside Sino, shouts, "Sino, split up!" Got it. They execute their pre-planned strategy. Ai uses the power within him, pushes off the ground, and leaps forward a great distance. He lands right in front of Tudolu, his fist gathering a massive amount of power. Sino throws a punch, creating a spherical barrier to stop the three demons. Kukru Dung praises him. Not bad at all. They've gotten very skilled at using their demon core energy, haven't they, Aki? He spins the dagger in his hand, facing the three demons tossed into the air. He excitedly calls out, "Let's kill them one by one! Tudolu, Hutue, Tomoe!" They respond with excitement. Got it. Tudolu doesn't bother with much talk. Do you even need to ask? All three leap up, each taking one demon. First, Tomoe, with her skillful and agile hands, weaves through one demon, landing several strikes on its body in a flash. She then steps on the demon and uses the force to kick it away. It drops in an instant. Next is Sino, using his strong physique for a finishing blow. The demon is sent flying over 100 meters in the blink of an eye. One down. Jago watches from above and praises. Their coordination is really good. His expression is a bit strange, full of lecherous intent, especially that little girl. The blue demon core's enhancement makes her movements incredibly fluid and graceful. Kuryu immediately snaps. What exactly are you focusing on? The second match is Tudolu's. Her eyes lock onto the falling demon. She arches her back, coiling for a strike, and drives her blade into the demon's body with all her might. Her blade injects a mysterious glowing blue liquid. The toxin spreads, creating a horrific, lumpy mass. As it roars, she leaps aside, letting the demon fall freely. After a moment, once the toxin has fully permeated the interior, she gives the command, "Detonate!" The demon explodes in a spectacular display. Finally, it's time for the battle between Aki and the demon. I wonder how he'll handle this. His gaze sharpens. Let me greet you with 3 slashes. His strikes are incredibly precise, targeting specific points. First, the neck. He lands the first cut. Then the chest, and finally the abdomen. As he delivers the final slash, he glides right past the demon. Even so, the momentum sends him rolling along the ground. Aki is forced to use his blade to anchor himself and stop. The explosive power of this scrawny body is limited, but he's taking this chance to test its limits. His footsteps are light, fluid, and steady. He lunges like an assassin to finish off the demon. The demon reacts in the blink of an eye to its attacker. It swings a fist, grazing the top of Aki's head. He doesn't hesitate to drive a blade into its flank, though he knows his current level of reflex speed is too slow. The demon naturally fights back, but Aki is alert and agile enough to dodge. He switches the knife to his other hand in a flash, using the momentum to strike again. Whether using his dominant or non-dominant hand, his attack speed remains just as decisive, as does the rhythm of his body. The demon, unable to land a hit after being toyed with, gets furious. It lashes out more violently than before. Just as it charges, Aki stabs it again. Ai then gracefully twists out of the way and delivers a horizontal slash across its neck, finishing it off. Even though he's completely defeated the demon, he feels it wasn't perfect enough. Not enough explosive power. Aki spins his blade in a cool display to end his performance. Sino can't help but blurt out, "Bro, Aki, he's like he's just playing with his prey." Tomoe quietly raises her camera. Everything from start to finish has been recorded. Tudulu remains calm, as if nothing happened. "How dare he steal my spotlight?" He's clearly doing it on purpose. Meanwhile, the 3 squad captains are truly impressed by Aki's performance. Who is that scrawny kid? Jago's eyes widen in surprise. Not bad energy at all. Joel also has to admit that it's not just the energy. His movements are all highly skilled. Only Kuryu keeps a stern face, silent, his eyes unable to tear away from Aki's every move. After a fierce struggle, he's left panting. The exam is over. Aki wipes the sweat, not too satisfied. His entire body, even his old skills, feel inaccessible, yet even these light movements leave him gasping for air. It really is quite pathetic. Even though the judges have called an end to the assessment, he still pushes off his feet. My evaluation is finished. With a lethal glare, he lunges at the dying demon. Then I should finish you off too. But just as he touches the ground in front of the demon, something erupts from the earth. Aki is quick to notice it. Something, it bursts out, piercing through the demon he intended to finish, and knocks him away. In an instant, All four of them are trapped, surrounded by vines. What is happening? A hand erupts from the demon's body. There is something emerging from within it. After a second of silence, another demon, smaller in stature, tears its way out. Time seems to slow down as that thing steps out. A demon with an appearance entirely different from a normal one. It lets out a roar that echoes with a sense of authority. An invisible aura radiates across the entire space. Even the three captains observing from the wall notice it. Kuryu immediately recognizes this powerful aura. His eyes go wide, sensing a bone-chilling cold. He then screams with all his might to the recruits below, "First-grade demon, everyone move! Get out of there now! Everyone back to the city, run!" Jago and Joel also leap down from the wall, landing in a cloud of dust. The sky remains calm, as if nothing were amiss. Two captains have stepped forward to deal with the powerful demon that has shown its face. Jago doesn't forget to urge the recruits fleeing back to the city. "Don't panic! Get to the safe zone! Captain Kuryu will protect you!" This first-grade demon can actually speak. "Humans, you smell like demons." Its words make Aki shocked and deeply confused. Humans smell like demons? What is it talking about? Even so, its voice mimics humans, so it sounds unnatural. Who is that? Though it walks slowly, the aura it radiates cannot be taken lightly. Aki's group of recruits shivers instantly. Is this a first-grade demon? Those normal ones from earlier? They're completely different. A surge of fear rises in each of them, as if they could be torn apart in a heartbeat. They stand completely frozen, facing this terrifying force. Aki cannot help but feel intimidated. His weak current body is clearly no match for it. This feeling is truly alien to him. For the first time, he understands what other warriors often say. Is this the pressure you feel when facing these kinds of demons? Facing their terrified gazes, the demon reaches out and starts counting. It stops bothering, though, and just unleashes its power. Take them all away. From its fingers, 4 beams of light shoot out, piercing their heads. They are, of course, unable to resist and are hit. All 4 recruits are immediately taken down. Just then, the wall of tangled roots surrounding them began to crack. Jago and Joel had arrived, but would they be in time? Jago shouted, threatening the creature, "Don't you dare touch them!" The demon didn't seem to care about the two of them at all. It tilted its head and let out a mocking, "Ha ha!" Then, roots erupted from the ground, twisting and weaving into a cage. They enveloped the demon, forming a cocoon. "Goodbye. Come along now," it said. Who would have expected it to be so polite while taking its leave? It then vanished from the crater it had left behind. Jago was frantic over this bizarre turn of events. It took them! All 4 of them gone. They hesitated at the pit where roots still clung to the edge, watching the dirt shift and churn in a line, proof that the demon was fleeing. John didn't think twice and gave chase. The two of them pursued the kidnapper deep into the forest, but after a while, the trail through the ground simply stopped. "It's gone, we've lost the trail." Jago gritted his teeth, completely baffled by what had just happened. They had clearly been patrolling for days. How on earth did we not detect this Class 1 demon? He prided himself on being meticulous in everything he did. The demon's behavior was completely abnormal. Such mutations were unheard of, and the demons themselves had never acted like this before. A massive figure appeared against the clear sky. Duong, breathless and drenched in sweat, jumped down to where they were standing, his voice urgent. "Where are the kids?" I was confused and urged the two, who were standing still, to keep moving. "Why are you stopping? Keep chasing it." Joel then slowly pointed out, "Calm down, Duong. The trail ends right here." Jago examined his surroundings, judging this particular Class 1 demon. It seems it went deeper underground here. The area ahead is uncharted territory. It might be dangerous to keep going. Duong silently touched the pile of dirt. I didn't say a word. A memory of his younger brother being taken by a demon flashed in his mind. Frustrated, Duong smashed the pile of dirt, unleashing his pent-up rage. "Damn it!" He was consumed by regret, blaming himself. "It's all my fault. I wasn't careful enough." Even though no one was criticizing him, the surge of emotion left him inconsolable. "It's all my fault." Joel knew they couldn't stay here long. "We need to go back first. Everyone must be panicking right now. We need to return to the town to reassure them. It won't do for the 3 of us to be stuck out here. After that, we can send a search party to scout the area and confirm if there are any other Class 1 demons." Jago knew they couldn't just chase that demon to the ends of the earth. Duong, there are 4 kids involved. We don't want this situation to happen, but we have to stay calm. I know you're blaming yourself right now. Her hand gently rested on Duong's shoulder, but he pushed it away. He had made his decision. He refused to abandon the kids. You guys go back first. I'm staying to keep searching. Don't worry. This made Joel frown. No way, Duong, you really... Before he could finish, Jago cut him off, her voice gentle and persuasive. But you have to promise to return before sunset, okay? Duong's voice was somber as he replied, I promise. Then the two watched as he ran into the thick fog. Jago simply understood him too well. You know we can't talk him out of it. Joel, though knowing it was true, sighed helplessly and ran a hand through his hair. I know. Years ago, Duong's own brother had been taken by demons. Ever since then, he had been trapped in self-blame. Mentioning it made everyone's mood sink. If his brother were still alive, he'd be the same age as those kids now. They all felt a deep ache for those poor children trapped in this dark world. Those kids reminded him of his brother. Meanwhile, Aki drifted back to consciousness, his eyes scanning the cave entrance. His movements were sluggish as he slowly regained his senses. Where am I? Underground? I then realized the others were like him, tied to a pillar. Wake up! It seems they're still alive, Aki said. But no sooner had he spoken than a terrifying voice sounded right behind him. You're awake, are you? His expression instantly shifted to one of pure panic as he turned to see the massive demon that had kidnapped them, a Class 1. While he struggled incessantly, it stepped forward, amazed. How are you awake already? You really are something else. It walked in front of him, its tone bizarre. How different, and how curious. Suddenly it turned and backhanded Aki. It leaned in close, whispering things he couldn't grasp. Why do you have the scent of our demonic energy on you? The scent of a human. How could it be stronger than ours? In a flash, his head was bleeding, but his eyes remained defiant. What the hell are you talking about? Aki didn't know where the strength came from, but he shattered the roots binding him. He leaped down, his hands nimbly grabbing a sharp branch that had fallen to use as a weapon. Aki swung to strike, but the demon dodged with ease. It was full of curiosity and malice. Destroying you, ha! Where does this vitality come from? It lashed out with sharp claws. Aki dodged gracefully, flipping away to put some distance between them. Damn it, this body is too weak. It's not even half as strong as my previous body. If this were my past life, I would have already cut your head off. Aki was filled with determination and the hope of saving his friends. I must save the 3 of them. He lunged forward again. Aki analyzed the Class 1 demon before him. It belonged to the red core type. Its flexible joints and agility gave it faster reflexes and attacks. But because of that, its joints lacked a protective chitinous layer. Its greatest strength was also its greatest weakness. The demon seemed to see right through his intentions. Reaching out won't do you any good. As you shift your weight and put all your strength into your arm, the demon's claws pierce straight through your shoulder. It was a trap. Aki intentionally lured the demon into stabbing his shoulder, knowing it was the only way to win. He then dislocates its joint, seizing the moment while its movement is restricted. Targeting its weak point, Aki drives a sharpened branch deep into the demon's shoulder joint, while his other hand grips its arm, using all his strength to tear it clean off. The plan worked! I actually snapped it off. The demon never expected him to be this reckless. It screams in agony. Aki lets out a triumphant, smug grin. Don't underestimate me. You're just a one-tailed demon. I've slaughtered countless creatures like you. But the demon's expression shifts suddenly. It smirks, its limbs twisting with unnatural flexibility as it delivers a brutal kick to his stomach. The impact is devastating to Aki's fragile body. In a flash, he's sent flying, slamming hard into the wall. The blow completely floors Aki, who had only just been reincarnated. The wall cracks under the impact, and a long trail of blood streaks down. The demon gloats, mocking his previous arrogance. You know my weak point, but I'm a wood type with a red demon core. Wood type. The arm Aki just ripped off flies back to its shoulder and grows right back. According to his knowledge, this is unbelievable. It healed? I thought only blue demon cores had regenerative abilities. Hearing it mention wood type triggers a terrifying realization that makes him freeze. Don't tell me. Have the demons evolved too? The demon swings its newly attached hand, You're the one who was underestimating me. It crooks its finger, and countless tiny needle-like blades pierce through Aki's body, pulling him toward it. With just a flicker of intent, the roots surge forward, dragging his immobile body toward the beast. Come here. He's back in the clutches of the one-tailed demon. Sharp roots impale him, pinning him in place. Even in defeat, Aki refuses to yield. The demon sneers, letting go of his head. I don't understand you. This is the end. But Aki has lost so much blood that his mind is slipping. Did it just pierce my organs? It hurts. I can't breathe. I just got reincarnated and this is how I die? Is this how it all ends? I hasn't forgotten the teammates who were captured too. Are they going to die as well? The tragic memories flood back into his mind, just like his former comrades who stood by his side. Did they all die right next to me too? But at this moment his body is completely paralyzed. He can't do anything to help. No, I'm sorry. Aki laughs bitterly and lets his arms go limp. I'm not ready to give up yet. Damn it. The demon sees him go still and checks curiously. Huh? Dead already? You're so weak. Typical human. Seeing this, the demon drools with greed. Evolve. To eat or not to eat. It hesitates for a moment, then opens its pitch-black maw, wanting to devour his head first. Time to eat. Suddenly, something inside Aki awakens. Huh? A powerful, oppressive aura radiates outward, threatening the demon. It jumps back in alarm. Aki's voice rings out, but it's not him in control. It's not Aki. You cannot die yet. If you do, the plan is ruined. The red demon core on his chest cracks again, shattering completely, but the strangeness doesn't stop there. I never expected to use my final life force in a place like this. Still, this power makes the one-tailed demon tremble uncontrollably. What is this terrifying pressure? It cowers before the force radiating out like glowing red threads. 5 tails, 6 tails, replacing the shattered core is something entirely different. The thing inside Aki laughs at the one-tailed demon's words. 6 tails? The power mutates his body into a new form. His jet-black hair grows out in an instant, covered in blood-white strands. The one-tailed demon is witnessing something unforgettable. In the span of its entire life, the power erupting from Aki's body suddenly explodes, forming a massive pillar of energy that pierces through the underground cavern and shoots straight into the sky. A crimson shockwave ripples outward. Every demon within a 100-mile radius caught in the blast vanishes into thin air instantly. The scene is truly majestic, shaking the entire primordial forest. The being standing at the center of this power is clearly something truly evil. Aki, in the form of a demon with glowing red wings, declares, I am the 8-tailed red core demon, the strongest, the most unique existence, your king. The one-tailed demon can't help but tremble in this state, stuttering, 8 tails, you are the king of the demons? The man lets out a breath as he kneels. Compelled by a command, the demon immediately slams its legs into the ground. The 8-tailed king stretches his arms out to receive the brilliant light. Tell me, what is my name? The demon trembles, its weak teeth chattering as it replies, Yes, your majesty, the 8-tailed king. This is the strongest demon and the mastermind behind Aki's resurrection. In the mist, the houses that were once inhabited are now abandoned ruins. Kyoku Tuen glides nimbly through the wreckage. He suddenly senses the presence of a few demons. In a flash, he lowers his body, preparing to strike. The 2 demons lying still suddenly notice something moving past them. Before they can even sit up to see what it is, Kyoku Tuen has already passed behind them, landing a punch directly into one's stomach. The other one growls and yells, but he nimbly dodges its attack. While the demon is stunned from missing, Kyoku Tuen jumps high into the air and delivers a strike to its neck, taking it down. He handles the 2 low-level demons with ease. He scans the area. There are only 2 minor demons here. It seems the children aren't here. Even so, this isn't the destination he needs to find. He must keep searching. He looks at the vast sky, now fading into a pink hue. Time is running out. He has to find the children before nightfall. Suddenly, the energy of the 8-tailed king explodes. A shockwave of energy surges right behind him, sweeping through. Kyoku Tuen covers his face to keep the dust out of his eyes. What is this terrifying pressure? The wave passes quickly, leaving a sudden silence in its wake. He decides to head in that direction. It seems like it's over there. Could it be? I have a gut feeling that the kidnapper is over there. Just then, the Red King descended in front of the first-rank demon. His movements were elegant yet calm, unfazed by anything. Seeing him approach, the first-rank demon hurriedly bowed his head. The king stretched, sighing with annoyance. I didn't expect to return to such a foul, dark place. The Red King then demanded an answer to his question. The demon trembled, stuttering, "Yes, yes!" The king's burning golden eyes looked down at the pathetic creature. "Since I vanished." He posed a question that needed an immediate answer. Do the 5 king ranks still exist? Are those 5 still in power? The first-rank demon immediately knocked his head to the ground. Yes, yes, it's those 5. The 5 kings are still the same. The 5 king ranks haven't changed. They haven't changed. Hearing this, the corner of the king's mouth curled into a smile. Looks like they've been living too comfortably. As if struck by some joke, he laughed harshly, his voice dripping with bitterness while his grip tore cuts into the empty air. Have they forgotten what I did 65 years ago? This impact made the first-rank demon jump in terror. Mentioning this, the Red King felt disappointed with Aki, having chosen the vessel of humanity's strongest warrior, only to find that after the crossover, this body has become so weak. What a disappointment. Circumstances really forced my hand to this point. To think my final fragment of consciousness had to be wasted in such a ridiculous situation, I have to wait until I fully awaken to reappear. His hand trembled slightly, suppressing the urge to crush himself. The Red King closed his eyes, savoring his grand plan, really testing my patience, waiting for this strongest warrior to slowly perceive the memories of the rank. Hearing the familiar term, the first-rank demon reacted. Memories of the rank? Grand King, as you said, to recall is to evolve. When evolving, one needs everything. He spoke firmly about the hidden mechanics of demons and the obvious transformations their bodies undergo. Naturally, they had no love or familial bonds. Quantity determines everything, and the higher the number, the higher the level. The evolution of our dark clan requires the memories of the rank. This is our race's special ability. It is also what keeps our race superior to others. This human warrior Aki is now just like you lot. The Red King naturally understood how evolution worked. Only by devouring your own kind can you evolve. He is also being nurtured by being parasitized by this human. As for him, he needs to eat dark creatures of a higher level than himself to perceive the memories of the rank. He turned his back, waiting for something. Then, he evolves. The Red King spoke as if explaining to a lower-level demon. This is also a gift I'm giving him. Hearing this, the demon flared with intense will. Grand King, as you command! I will serve you with all my heart and become your right-hand man. He reached out, generously offering to help the king awaken, only to be slashed through in an instant, his upper body blown away. The Red King's tone was emotionless. You aren't worthy. What he said just now was only to reveal the plot to the reader. You only had value. He reached out, lifting the crystal shards that fell onto his chest, as a means to awaken this human warrior to perceive the memories of the rank. The Red King looked forward to the changes in the human he chose. I have laid out the first step, you, warrior of humanity. He injected Aki's code, altering it into a different form. Don't let me down in the future levels. The outer shell resembling his form cracked. I want you to awaken step by step all the way to the 8th rank, Aki. Aki, currently unconscious, also slumped over. Until that time comes, the DNA code was also inserted into his energy core. He uttered his final words before vanishing. I will awaken from my deep slumber and return. Immediately after, Aki's energy core fluctuated. The DNA strands entered his bloodstream, blending into his body's internal environment. The demon curled up, falling into a deep sleep, leaving Aki behind, as if countless hands were clinging to him, dragging him into the depths of the abyss. Darkness gradually swallowed the last sliver of light, leaving nothing behind. A soft voice rang out, calling for Aki. King, our strongest one. Your comrade is waiting every second, dying, resisting death. King, I don't want to die yet. She is still waiting for me to return. He struggled to reach out toward her. You must not die. No, I will bring you back. Suddenly, the hand that seemed unable to move grabbed Aki's hand. He startled, stunned. But in the end we all died, didn't we? That comrade's face twisted into something terrifying. Why are you the only one left alive? Aki suddenly jolted awake. He gasped, quickly realizing this was reality. Huh? A dream. It was a dream. That dream felt incredibly real. He also realized that the haunting image was his own memory. Before he could clear his head, someone pulled back the curtain. Hey, Brother Aki! It was the 3 teammates who had been saved. You're finally awake! You guys... As soon as he spoke, Tomoe suddenly leaned in, startling Aki. What is it? She raised an eyebrow, staring at his head, looking puzzled. But why is your hair like this? Could it be that the demon specially took you to get it dyed? Aki felt shy with a girl getting so close. Too close, too close! What nonsense are you talking about? Only now did he realize that after passing out, he couldn't remember anything. Wait a minute. Are you 3 okay? Sino shrugged. We're fine. You guys... I remember we were kidnapped by the first-rank demon. As Aki finished his sentence, a large shadow approached. Looks like you still remember. Kyokudu pulled the hospital curtain back strongly. Unexpectedly, all 3 squad leaders were here waiting for him to wake up. Tell us, what happened in the den? Aki glanced at the other 2 people appearing in the room. 2 others were there. At the city wall, Captain, Kyokudu Captain. Why were you there at that time too? Jago stood up with a graceful, feminine air and giggled. Well, the 4 of you are actually back in one piece. Hio's face darkened, and he said in a low, sharp tone, Don't call me that. She gestured as if agreeing, though her lips kept curling into a smirk. Fine, fine. The 3 of them, Tudolu, Heo, and the others, all looked at Jago with a fresh perspective. Joe Hio spoke indifferently, recounting how he had discovered them right next to that cave. At that time, all 4 of you were unconscious. It's lucky that the not-key beast disappeared without a trace. Otherwise, getting you all back safely like this would have been impossible to guarantee. Jago placed somethings in front of Aki. The 3 of them had already woken up a while ago. None of them have any memory of that cave. Only you remained in a coma, and look at how much you've changed. You were just talking about the cave earlier. Try to remember, what on earth happened in there? Aki hurriedly snatched the mirror and examined himself closely. Dyed hair? Is this really me? When Tuhi said I dyed my hair, was she talking about this? What happened? Everything since I transmigrated is just too hard to believe. My memory. It's clear one moment and blurry the next. I remember being hid in the cave until I lost consciousness, but after that, I have no idea. Should I tell them about my transmigration? No, that would only make things more complicated. Besides, who knows if they'd even believe me? I'm still confused about my own current state, and here I am trying to use the name Aki to figure everything out. I remember just waking up for a split second in a daze. That's how he knew they had been brought to the cave. Finally, Aki decided to painfully make up a random excuse, then claimed he fell unconscious and didn't remember anything else until he woke up here. The expression on Kyu Ju-dung's face was indescribably grave. So he was unconscious too? Am I just overthinking things? He didn't mention what he saw, but inside the cave he had seen a wall covered in blood, as if it had been blown apart. What could have caused that? As the room's atmosphere grew tense and awkward, Joe slowly pushed his chair and glided past him. It's Aki, right? He asked, his voice soft, pointing out the strange inconsistencies. You share the name with the greatest warrior. I checked your assessment scores. They were bottom tier, yet you fought the demons with such chilling coldness. His eyes burned, as if trying to look right through him. You've fought them before, haven't you? Aki knew he was being interrogated and quickly denied it. No, I haven't. I'm just interested in combat and analyzing their strengths and weaknesses. Jago seemed to accept this lie. Seems like you're the theoretical type. Kyu Ju-dung, a warrior like this should be cultivated properly. Hearing this, Aki suddenly remembered his assessment result. Warrior A? That's right. How did my test turn out? Tomoe beamed as she explained, You passed the warrior assessment. We're still a team. Everyone looked thrilled. It was an unexpected turn of events, a stroke of fate. Kyu Ju-dung said, I've assigned the 4 of you to one squad. From now on, help each other out, Aki. Tudolu spoke up coldly. We've already been left behind by many other groups. This left him confused. Left behind? Kyu Ju-dung lowered his voice. Groups need to accumulate points by taking on missions. You've been in a coma for 3 days. Right now, your team's score is still 0. This was clearly a shock to someone who had just woken up. What? I've been out for 3 days? Fixing their hair, checking their gear, gloves, and armor carefully, the group set off. Under the curious gaze of the citizens, they lined up, and people watched the new squad with excitement. Wow, Captain Kujudung, look, are those the new recruits? A group of new warriors gathered here 3 days ago too. They're so young. Are they new recruits heading out on a mission? Kujudung continued his duty as their guide. I'll keep this simple. First, congratulations. This is a solemn ritual. You have successfully become warriors. His tone rose and fell, devoid of too much emotion, but at the same time, surviving a Nat Kai beast is a true feat. Congratulations. You 4 are now a squad under my management. To put it simply, I am your commanding captain. Our squad has 9 subgroups. I hope you all dedicate yourselves and show me your talents. Aki, confused, raised his hand to interject. Showcasing talent? Does that mean the rules for warriors are way more complicated now than they used to be? Back in the day, after becoming warriors, we went straight to the battlefield. Strength and status were earned through combat. Sino looked at him, stunned. Brother Aki, have you really never heard of the group performance ranking? Aki's expression was truly like a deer caught in headlights. The group performance ranking? Sino felt helpless at this guy's ignorance. He really doesn't know anything. Completely clueless. And right now, we're the bottom-ranked group. Tudo Lu muttered irritably. Stop dragging us down. Kujudung had to reiterate the rules. What I mean by showcasing talent refers to your ranking on the leaderboard. Groups under the same captain compete against each other. The goal is to push groups to improve. I oversee 9 groups, which means you will be competing against 8 others. You earn points through different missions. The higher the score, the higher the rank. Every month, all 3 captains. Calculate the top 2 groups from each captain's roster, totaling 6 groups, to participate in a battle for first-place rewards. Under the harsh sun, Kujudung's voice turned chillingly ominous. Also, the bottom-ranked groups have to face penalties. He gestured toward some people in green uniforms sweeping the floor nearby. For now, they'll be on cleaning duty until the competition starts in 2 months. Aki glanced over, sighing at how exhausted they looked. No wonder the mirrors were sparkling clean. 9 Jade Hall was stern. These are the rules for demon slayers. They must constantly evolve and work hard. He clearly defined everyone's roles in the squad. Furthermore, since your group has Tudo with the highest record, she will be the squad leader. Any objections? Sino chirped happily. I trust Sister Tudo to be an exemplary leader. No objections here. Tomoe also replied softly. No objections. Tudo is very strong too. Only Aki, though unwilling, couldn't voice why he wasn't chosen. I mean, I'm Aki. After all, he's the one dubbed the strongest warrior in humanity. And just like that, the matter was settled. Tudo Lu stepped forward, announcing resolutely that she was determined to complete the mission. Her heart was blooming. She was definitely the leader. If they didn't pick me, who else would they pick? The atmosphere in the city was truly peaceful. 9 Jade Hall decided to leave them to figure things out for themselves. It's still early. You can check the mission board to see what's left, and take a look at the other squad's rankings while you're at it, he added meticulously. Also, these combat suits were custom-made for you. If you have any issues during actual combat, report them to me directly, he said, standing tall. The 4 of them stood at attention and shouted, Yes, sir. Tudo Lu turned on her heel and marched off. Let's go, let's go! Let's check the mission board. We've already lost 3 days. Let's work hard together as a group, right now. Tomoe shouted, stopping them. Wait! There's something even more important than that! Tudo Lu froze and slowly turned back. What? What is it? Her mind was in complete chaos. Could I have overlooked something even more important? The logistics, the team positioning, the supply preparation? No, it's not too late to decide on those. After the mission is confirmed, right? Just as her perfect leader aura was about to vanish, Tomoe whipped out a camera. It's to take a group photo together. Her eyes sparkled, eagerly awaiting the leader Aki's approval. Hearing this request, he muttered, A group photo? He didn't hesitate to agree. All right, that's not bad. And so, a new group was formed. Perhaps they would be together for a long time. Meanwhile, 9 Jade Hall and the other 2 stood on a building rooftop. Nine Jade Hall and the other two stood on the rooftop of a building. "Take a look, you two." Jago stretched, sounding disbelieving. "So those Void-Gi monsters near that cave all exploded and died? And the demon blood was splattered all over the walls inside?" John flicked his lighter to spark a cigarette, glancing over with a dull look. "Do you think those 4 kids did it?" Nine Jade Hall didn't answer for a long while. His inner thoughts were not so clear. "I'm suspicious of that strange kid, Aki," he said in a serious, low voice. "My nose is sensitive. I can smell something on him, but I don't know what that familiar scent is." Jago suddenly hugged him from behind, chirping, Road, you're overthinking it. As long as the kids come back safe, that's enough." She leaned back playfully on his shoulders. "Besides, their strength isn't bad. Just train them up, or else send them over to me." He blushed, looking both embarrassed and annoyed. "I'm being serious." Jian only exhaled a cloud of smoke. "We can't just deal with the kids based on suspicion. Just keep observing. Road, if you feel anything is out of the ordinary, tell us." Oh, right. The Aki group had already arrived at the Central City's mission board. He stared at it for a long time, then beamed, "This is great! There are still 3 A-rank missions. A-rank missions are worth 10 points. Sino chimed in, refreshing his knowledge. "Brother Aki, you might not know, but A-rank is the highest level we can take. And the remaining 3 are the hardest of the A-rank." Tudolu's expression turned pensive as she stood before the board. It was a complete imbalance between the missions. Compared to the 6 points for B rank and 3 points for C rank, 10 points for A rank were truly tempting. But B and C were much safer and easier. A rank missions often involved life and death danger. Hearing this, he could only sigh in frustration. All right then. I guess we have no choice." They were just about to give up and not take them, when suddenly, Tudolu stepped up and ripped the 3 mission papers right off the board. Aki's attitude changed instantly, and they said in unison, "Let's go!" Grasping the necessary information, the other 2 didn't hesitate and grabbed the mission papers too. Both Aki and Tudolu shared the same spirit, shouting together, "Let's do this!" The team didn't waste another second, rushing toward their destination. While running, he pressed the red gem on his chest, and it lit up. It proved it had been activated, creating something. A long string wrapped around Aki's shoulders and extended behind him. He was quite surprised by this feature. "This is the Nano Wing!" Thanks to this, his speed surged, and he dashed toward the rock in front of him. Aki braked hard, turning his back to the rock and felt energy surging through. "I can use this anytime." Next, looking at the Nano Wing's analysis, can it even materialize weapons? As he imagined it, a dagger appeared right in his palm, just as expected. There it was. Clenching the product created from thin air, Aki couldn't help but exclaim, "The Nano Gear 6.5 is way more advanced than I thought." The others in the squad were also hiding behind the rock like him, waiting for the right moment. "Are you all ready? Okay, good." On the open clearing were 2 monsters, their mission targets. The target was just 2 Void-Gi demons. They could take them down in one breath. Tudolu lowered her voice, knitting her brows as she signaled the team. Acting in perfect sync, the 4 of them split up, sprinting toward their targets. The 2 demons, previously lounging around, leaped up the moment they sensed their prey. The creatures snarled, drooling with hunger at the sight of humans. Tudolu narrowed her eyes, assessing the situation. They still had 3 A-rank missions to complete. They couldn't afford for this fight to drag on. "Strike fast, win fast, stick to the plan." Sino was the first to act, stomping hard on the ground to block their vision. He pulled up the earth, forming a solid wall. It blocked the red demon's strike. The 2 demons looked confused, having lost track of the humans entirely. Tudolu moved like she was playing chess, calculating every single piece's move. Next, Aki and Hu-He destroy their mobility. The 2 moved in perfect sync, just as planned. Their blades flashed, slicing through the monster's legs in a heartbeat. Aki's eyes never left the target, checking to see if they had been decisively taken down. "Joints are severed. Let's see you try to stand now." Sure enough, their legs buckled, and they collapsed to their knees. Now it was Sino's turn to show up. A brilliant golden aura radiated from his arm. "Try this punch of mine." I didn't play favorites. He hit both demons with the same blunt force. As they were sent flying backward, Tudolu leaped gracefully, holding her weapons. She clutched her daggers with an intense, burning determination to win. "Time for me to give this fight the perfect finish." Her speed was unmatched. She blurred past the two demons, leaving a trail of light. In the blink of an eye, Lu landed and drove her daggers into the ground. The slashes she left on the demons began to glow blue, and then both monsters exploded. Lu felt quite proud of her masterpiece. Beautiful. That's a perfect ending, I'd say. Trees in the forest rustled from the shockwave of the blast. Tomoe checked the devices installed nearby. The fog was clearing, returning to a stable state. Only then did the group breathe a sigh of relief. The fight hadn't been that intense after all. Mission accomplished. Clearing out fog in the wild is harder than just doing inspections. If this is just a side task, how long is it going to take to finish the A-rank ones? Someone used a dry branch to push aside some monster remains, revealing a stone. It's a red demon core. Tomoe picked it up, excitedly examining it for a while. So beautiful. Lu spoke up, asserting her authority as the leader. Good work, everyone. We've got our first 10 points. Aki looked curiously at the advanced tech in his hand. Once the mission was done, it immediately vanished from the screen. High-tech stuff, all right. Tomoe didn't overreact like him. Obviously, technology nowadays is always one step ahead of the demons. The chip embedded in each mission links to the city's leaderboard. Once completed, the rankings and points update automatically, she explained patiently to the outdated Aki. She held out her hand. We just finished the fog-clearing mission around town. Give it here. Let me see if anything changed. The screen showed 3 heads and 10 stones. Tomoe's face went pale. It's still pretty tough, isn't it? She was completely crushed by this devilish mission design. Demon cores. We spent the whole afternoon and only got 3. There are 7 more to go, and we have to capture them alive. I heard that's the hardest part. Sino could only force a bitter smile. Looks like we're in for some tough times ahead. Obviously. While we're doing our missions, other teams are constantly racking up points too. Lu stepped up, grabbing everyone's attention. Listen up, guys. I'm going to outline the plan. It was all down to her intelligence and tactical skill. Finish the 2 remaining C-rank missions, then move straight to the A-rank ones. We're climbing to the top! 1 shot! The other 3 cheered enthusiastically. 2, your eyes are literally glowing. Sounds good. Let's go straight for the top. We can't let them look down on our team. Sino winked at Aki and asked quietly, Hey, brother Aki, what do you think? Aki shrugged with a friendly smile. Don't be so formal. We're all friends here. Just call me. Aki! All right, he chirped, stretching his arms, full of competitiveness. You're right. Other teams are earning points every second, no matter what. Whoever is faster wins. Standing around like a fool won't get you anywhere. At the same time, Aki sighed, reflecting on his own fate. Truth be told, he was over 50 years old. He had experienced everything life had to offer. I guess I am quite old. But by now he had fully embraced this new life. He never expected that hanging out with these youngsters would make him feel young again. The defiance and refusal to surrender of youth really made a person feel energized. Because of that, his aura turned fiery with youthful recklessness. Let's try to finish 1 more mission before it gets dark. Let's go! Tomoe jumped up, joining in. Okay, let's do it. The silhouettes of the 4 reflected in the sunset. Only Lu felt something was off. Wait a second. How did he end up stealing all the spotlight? A peaceful afternoon with birds scattering from the forest. Sino, completely exhausted, tied up a green-skinned demon. Got one. Spent a few hours struggling just to get this result. Finally, 3 captured alive. Lu's expression was a bit strained. She carefully checked the gun in her hand. The tranquilizer rounds were just about out. The special ammunition distributed to each team was limited. Just as she turned around, she caught Aki looking at her gun with innocent, curious eyes. She sighed and started her mandatory lecture. Honestly, there's always something to explain. This is also nano-synthesized tranquilizer. Like the daggers, this gun is also nanotech, but the compounds and manufacturing process are way more complex. Hearing this, Aki sat down in front of the muzzled demon, lost in thought. So now, catching demons uses tranquilizers. He remembered back in the day how hard they had to work just to do something like this. Back then, to capture them alive, we used pure brute force to knock them unconscious before dragging them back. The researchers used to complain all the time that I kept destroying their brains. Ha ha! Sino, the voice of positivity, beamed. Running out of tranquilizer right as we finish capturing them is a good thing. If we keep this up, we'll finish the mission for sure. If I don't say anything, no one would notice the dozens of demons lying around here. To capture those 3 alive, we had to take on a whole swarm, at least a dozen of them. Tomoe stretched after a long, exhausting day, complaining, "The warrior code says we have to be back at the castle before dark. What a damn stupid rule. If we're late, we're going to get punished." She giggled and winked. "Let's just go home and have dinner now." Aki stood there, stunned, a strange, unfamiliar feeling swelling in his heart. "I wonder if I even have a home in this world," Situlio said softly, holding a device in her hand. I need to get back to the dojo soon, too. I just need to use the locator to mark the spot for the guys at the lab. They'll come and collect these 3 demons, and then our mission will be officially complete." Suddenly, Aki's sharp intuition caught a chilling sensation on the back of his neck. "Does everyone else feel that? There's a bit of murderous intent around here." Just then, a bullet whistled through the air like a bolt of lightning, grazing the group and piercing straight through the 3 unconscious demons. Aki reacted instantly to the sudden attack. Even Situ Liu, who had thought the mission was already a success, didn't have time to react. In a few seconds, all that remained of their hard-earned prize was a stiff, lifeless corpse. A mocking tone rang out, revealing the culprit behind it all. "Looks like you guys won't be finishing this mission after all." The members of Aki's team quickly scanned their surroundings and shouted, "Who's there?" Another squad had been standing on a nearby rock the whole time. "You're the newbies on the roster and you dare to snatch up all the A-rank missions?" The masked leader raised an eyebrow with a sneer. "Those are the missions we wanted. You guys really have some nerve." A 4-person squad had appeared on the rock near Aki's team, though no one knew how long they'd been there. "Are you idiots the new squad that thinks they can take all the A-rank jobs?" The red-haired, masked man growled arrogantly, trying to intimidate them. "Those were our missions. You guys are seriously pushing your luck." Aki glanced coldly at the group of strangers. "We're new, so I don't know who you are." He hoisted his signature rifle and introduced himself heroically. "We're a squad under Captain Jiyue Huang. During the tryouts, our squad was named Black Spear." The red-haired guy shrugged, constantly emphasizing his seniority. "To put it simply, we're one of your 9 veteran squads." With that, he turned to the girl and his team and asked, "How many new squads joined under Captain Jiyue Huang this time?" She brushed her hair gracefully and replied, 3. The guy didn't seem to care much about the newcomers. "Oh, 3 squads, huh?" Hearing that made him even more domineering. He sneered, "You newbies don't even know how to pay your respects to your seniors, do you?" With a few leaps, he jumped off the rock and landed firmly. He seemed to be the leader, so he took it upon himself to make decisions. "You didn't even get permission." "From us veterans before grabbing all the A-rank missions." He projected an overbearing aura, trying to force them into submission. "Do you even have any respect for us?" Faced with this, Aki's team remained silent for a long moment. Situ Liu's expression turned chillingly cold. She wasn't listening to a word they said anymore. She gritted her teeth, her anger mounting exponentially. It had been so hard for everyone to catch those demons. Added to that, the red-haired guy's insulting tone pushed her over the edge. "Who is your captain? Get your squad members over here and pay your respects." Before he could finish, Situ Liu lunged right at him. She didn't hesitate, throwing a sharp kick, but he nimbly leaned back. The red-haired man quickly put some distance between himself and the danger. You dare lay a hand on a senior? You have no manners." This trash talk only made her more furious. You deserve to be called a senior?" Sino and Tomoe rushed over to hold Situ Liu back. "Liu, don't lose your cool. They're still seniors. Let's talk to them first." Even though Tomoe didn't want to fight, he felt it was unfair. Those guys were being completely unreasonable, and they couldn't just let them shoot the demons they had worked so hard to catch. The red-haired man thought he'd heard a joke. He scoffed. "Reason? In this place, competition is just the way it is. You guys are way too naive." The more Situ Liu heard, the more her murderous intent flared. Her voice dropped low. Naive? Inside, she was far from the calm exterior she showed. They had ruined our mission. "You jerk! Do you have any idea how much effort we put into this? What are you trying to do to my captain's reputation? I'm done talking to you." Sino turned to the last person on their team, hoping for help. "Aki, the sun is setting. You say something to them." Before he could finish, a shadow flashed past like a demon. Aki surged forward like a gale, leaping straight at the enemy. "Eat this!" A lethal kick landed, giving his opponent no chance to dodge. It was too fast, too dangerous. Before the rest of the squad could react, he had already struck. In his life, he hated nothing more than loudmouths who showed off and bullied newcomers. Ever since he started, I have never heard such a load of crap in my entire life. Do you have any idea how much energy it took for us to catch these 3 demons, huh? What kind of bullshit rules are these? Even in my past life, I've never seen anything this ridiculous. Sino and Tomoe were completely frozen by his actions, while Situ Liu gave a satisfying thumbs up. The red-haired guy was sent flying, his mask knocked off, clutching his face and stuttering. You damn brat, how dare you treat a senior like this? He couldn't handle the humiliation of being struck by a rookie. Black Spear, prepare for combat. His teammates drew their weapons and charged on command. Yes, sir! At this point, there was nothing left to hold back. Situ Liu drew her blade as well, and both sides immediately plunged into a heated brawl right on the spot. But before they could charge in and start a brawl, a thunderous roar cut through the chaos. A man lunged into the fray, intercepting strikes from both Aki and the redhead. Qiu Duduong's eyes flashed with a golden light as he channeled his strength. In one fluid motion, he spun around, sweeping them both away. The sheer force of the throw sent the redhead skidding across the ground for a long distance. Aki skillfully braked just in time, realizing it was futile to keep fighting. Besides, he had only wanted to test the mettle of the young warriors. Who was this man who had just appeared in the middle of such a heated standoff? They shouted in alarm, "Captain Qiu Duduong!" He glared at them coldly, his face stern, then menacingly warned the bunch of reckless brats. "The sun has set and you're still out here? Are you looking to become food for the demons?" The redhead immediately whined, pointing straight at Tudo Lu and the others. "Captain, they attacked me first. They even knocked off my mask." She looked at him with a gaze of pity for his lack of intelligence. "Are you a child? Reporting such a petty thing to Captain Qiu Duduong?" The guy was so frustrated he didn't even know how to retort. Tomoe boldly pulled out a camera and declared, "I have proof. They killed the 3 demons we captured alive. Talk about shameless." Reporting before taking action. This move caught Sino off guard. "Damn, when did you even take that photo?" Qiu Duduong narrowed his eyes. "Look closely. They captured the demons alive. This is an A-rank mission your squad accepted, isn't it?" Tudo Lu, not the least bit afraid, stood tall. She placed her hand behind her back and stood at attention. The mission was originally complete, but the Black Spear squad sabotaged it. Qiu Duduong didn't say much more. He understood the situation. "I see." He carried the demeanor of a fair and upright leader, explaining, "You may feel they are being unreasonable, but everything you've been through, they also experienced when they were a rookie squad." Qiu Duduong didn't force everyone to follow his rules, but asked, "How you choose to face your fate depends on your own decisions." His tone grew stern, serving as a reminder. In the end, a squad only cares about the points. Anything is permitted as long as it doesn't lead to injury or death. The rules of this fortress are the same. Qiu Duduong took great pains to guide them. I didn't leave anyone out. As future warriors, you will have to face much tougher situations. This won't just be simple training like this. He also made it clear why he stepped in to stop the fight. "I didn't stop you because fighting is forbidden, but because the sunlight is fading. Get back to the fortress." Even so, Qiu Duduong couldn't forget the pathetic state of the redhead and his crew, especially after they had just had an A-rank mission snatched away by a rookie squad. "Just hearing about it is embarrassing enough. Get back and reflect on yourselves." The redhead didn't dare utter a word. Of course, this wouldn't end peacefully. As the redhead brushed past Aki, he suddenly spoke up. "Hey, you dare to give me your name?" Aki didn't shrink away like a coward. "Coward, Aki." That name made the guy's eyes widen for a split second. Then, he burst into mocking laughter with his cronies. "Did you hear that? He's got the same name as the greatest warrior." The only one who knew the truth couldn't care less. "You asked for it yourself." The redhead stopped his mocking laughter, his voice turning cold. "Aki, I swear I won't let you get your points easily. I promise you." That single encounter seemed to cement a grudge that would last a lifetime. "Your squad will definitely be at the bottom of the rankings this month." He walked over to his mask, stopped, and pointed at the bruise on his cheek. With a terrifying expression, he added, "And this, I'll return it tenfold later." After the threat, he bent down to pick up his mask, carefully adjusted it on his face, and shouted, "Black Spear Squad, move out!" Everyone in his team obeyed him without question. All four of them leaped away right before their eyes. Let's go. Only then did Ku Duong dare to reveal a bit more information about them to Aki's group. The Black Spear Squad might not be the strongest, but they are notorious for being relentless and ruthless. They will definitely think of every possible way to harass or sabotage your missions. He was kind enough to briefly mention the enemy's special equipment. The captain of the Black Spear Squad specializes in firearms. Ku Duong still hoped they would reflect on their performance. In that last spar, they hadn't even used their guns yet. I admit you are a rookie squad with real talent, but there are many gifted warriors out there. If they get serious, you'll need a plan to counter them. After giving his advice, he turned and headed toward the sunset. All right, everyone get back to the fortress. Tudula was already tired from all the noise that day. Forget it. I'm done thinking about it. She ordered the team to head back. As she passed Aki, she couldn't help but tease him. What are you standing there for? Trying to look cool? Yet, she coldly admitted to herself. That kick really was cool, though. Aki's eyes didn't even flicker as he watched her small figure walk away. No need to hang back, everyone. Sino tried to persuade Aki. Want to come to my place for dinner? Aki stretched and refused. No, I've got plans for tonight. This left Sino curious. What kind of mysterious plans? No one else knew about the crazy plan forming in his head. Tonight, he wanted to capture 3 demons all by himself. As night fell, the apocalyptic world felt truly gloomy. A loudspeaker played a warning on loop. Attention, for your own safety, please do not leave the fortress. Attention, for your own safety, please do not leave the fortress. Aki followed his plan from the afternoon, sneaking out. On the way to the city gate, there was only the sound of the looping announcement. Hardly anyone was around during this lockdown period. Guess I'll just have to head home. After finishing the mission, I wanted to go back and check things out anyway. You quietly observe and assess the situation at the city gate. The guards at the main entrance don't seem as strict as you imagined. Your reflection flickers across a golden plaque. Do not approach the emergency exit. Only a sign sits here. You feel deeply puzzled by this anomaly. In this timeline, are they short-staffed? Or perhaps nobody expects anyone to leave the city in the middle of the night? But leaving it like this, it's just too strange. My past life? We didn't care about things like this. Is it because night has fallen? Or is there a special nighttime operation in place? Aki can't figure out why the security is so incredibly lax at night. Anyway, at night, I don't have to worry about not finding demons. Using the brutal methods from my past life to capture 3 demons alive shouldn't be a big deal. You're excited about your plan to mess with that arrogant guy, that masked man. It seems he was determined to mess with our squad. Well, completing the mission when he least expects it. Isn't that perfect? Looks like I'm still a genius. Before you could do anything big, a voice suddenly speaks up beside you. Aki jumps, startled, and looks over in a panic. It's Situ Liu, glancing at you coldly. Your heart is racing like a trapped sheep. It's so thrilling to go out and play at night. After becoming a warrior, you get so much more freedom. You can just make up any excuse to leave the main grounds during the day. Aki, I knew you had a plan. I guessed you'd be up to something tonight. You stand up and breathe a sigh of relief. You scared the hell out of me, so it was just you, Situ Liu. She coldly questions you. Why are you here in the dead of night? Trying to leave the city? Inside, you can't help but feel eager and excited. It's so thrilling. What will the outskirts be like at night? Aki immediately tries to play it cool. What are you talking about? Just going out for a walk. I ate too much and my stomach exploded. This is the strongest fighter from your past life, but she's a bit of an airhead in everyday life, Aki. Sure enough, right after you say that, your stomach growls with hunger, so loud that Situ Liu doesn't even bother calling out your terrible acting skills. Your plan was exposed. No choice but to come clean. Fine. The truth is I wanted to surprise you all tomorrow morning. I just wanted to finish the mission while everyone was away. The masked man ruined it during the day, but the deadline for the mission hasn't passed yet, has it? Aki helplessly decides to just brush past it. Well, since you found out, you have no choice. Don't report me, I'm going back now. You'd only taken a few steps when Situ Liu speaks up again. I'm joining you. She smiles, her thin lips curling up. What's the plan? I know. I might be a genius. So exciting. This is so fun. Being a warrior is truly interesting. You think about the masked man's face tomorrow morning? It'll be like he just ate crap. You feel refreshed inside. Just then, Aki turns to look at her, confused. Why were you smirking like that just now? Her smile vanishes instantly. I wasn't. While the two of you are sneaking around, two guards on the wall are yawning, bored. The buzz-cut one complains, every shift is pure torture. I'm dying of sleepiness. Who'd even try to go out at night anymore? Have a death wish? Why don't we just lock the main gate shut? No sooner had he finished speaking, the guy next to him hisses loudly to cut him off. Hey, shut it! Don't let the squad leader hear you talking like that. Keeping a gap is for emergency situations. This has become a scar that's hard to erase. Have you forgotten a few years back when people tried to get back in, begging for help from our town? Because we opened the gate a few seconds too late, we kept this rule ever since to avoid people dying horribly at the hands of demons. The man sighs, recounting the rules of this world. Ever since then, almost every town keeps an emergency gap in the main gate. In this world, the survival of the living is more important than anything. The buzz-cut guard realizes he spoke out of turn. Sorry. The other guy isn't too bothered. It's fine, you'll get used to it. He digs into his pocket and pulls out a magazine. Hey, look what I brought. The buzz-cut guy's eyes light up. It's the latest photo book of the female warriors from other towns. The older guy giggles with a lecherous expression. I paid a premium to get someone to buy this for me. Heh, share it with you tonight, kid. Ha ha! The two of them are huddled up in the middle of the night on the wall. You actually got the latest issue? Look at this page. That waist. While the two guards are busy with their smut magazine, the two of you have quietly slipped out. Aki leads the way into an empty field. The scenery is completely different from the daytime. Ahead is the training ground, still looking like it did before, but the night fog is much thicker than during the day. You point the way for the girl beside you. Lu, this way. In a flash, the two of you reach a distance away. It's this spot. Situ Liu nods in agreement, far enough from the city wall to avoid being spotted. The black rot forest is a perfect place for us to set the trap. Aki, acting as the leader now, whispers instructions. Follow the plan we discussed. Wait for me to lead the monsters here, then attack their heads with force to knock them unconscious. That's it. As soon as you finish, you step into the fog without hesitation. Wait for me to come back. As you disappear from sight, Situ Liu's hand at her side trembles slightly. Even though Aki looks like he has the win in the bag, the way he just walked into the night fog alone, she starts, snapping back to her senses. Her whole body tenses up. This isn't right. I'm also alone out here in the night forest outside the city, as if I could be swallowed by the fog and darkness at any moment. Her thoughts start to spiral, fear mixed with excitement. No, I have to focus. Situ Liu takes a deep breath, eyes wide, waiting and ready to deal with whatever comes. Only a moment later, Aki leads a demon out. The skill with which Aki lures the demon is truly shocking to Liu because every time Aki manages to leave one monster isolated. This definitely reduces the difficulty of capturing them alive significantly. You spin through the air with great agility. For Liu, this completely unfamiliar method of hunting purely through brute force felt incredibly fresh and exciting. She gradually adapted to it, quickly becoming proficient. Every time Aki lured a demon over, she would shout, and they would jump out in perfect sync to catch the demon off guard. The two coordinated seamlessly, stepping onto rotten tree branches, each taking a side to kick and deflect the demon's maw. Under Aki's guidance, their flexible bodies were like playing with the demons, while simultaneously launching continuous attacks on the demons' heads. By constantly targeting the head, they kept the demons in a state of disorientation. This method of catching them alive, relying purely on the raw violence of half a century ago, was reenacted tonight. The two of them took them down one by one, although the process was relatively smooth. By the time the last one was taken down and hogtied, this pure strength-based hunting method proved too physically demanding. After rolling around for a while, both of them were drenched in sweat and exhausted. This body really needs conditioning, she thought. In her past life, hunting demons alone was just child's play. Tudulu was no exception. She dragged the demon's snout over with an indifferent expression. That's the third one, finally done. I'm exhausted. This is even more tiring than training in the martial arts arena. Aki directed, Yeah, just put it here. Her expression was momentarily puzzled. Put it here? Aki knew exactly what Tudulu was confused about. The low-level demons lacked intelligence. They wouldn't know how to save their own kind, and they wouldn't dare get too close to the city walls. Leaving these three, there wouldn't be a problem. Aki smiled faintly, patting the head of the demon with its snout bound. This hunting style of greeting them with a strike to the head will keep them from waking up for a while. Tomorrow morning, we'll come out here and submit the mission directly. Tudulu hesitated for a moment, then asked, "How do you know all this?" Aki's expression stiffened. "Damn it, my big mouth got me into trouble again." He had said way too much. Just as he was wondering how to answer, a rescue came. Beep, beep, found them. The two youngsters' bodies instantly stiffened when they followed the sound. Two demons were clinging to this tree, even knowing how to speak. Found, humans, heh. The green demon tilted its head. It had no eyes, yet it could sense them. As expected, same scent. Who would have thought the one to save him from such an awkward state would be a demon? High-level demons? And there are two of them! Aki fell into a state of panic in a flash. This is bad. Why are there two high-level demons with this body's current state? We are absolutely no match for them! Damn it, why are they here? The appearance of the two of them instantly alerted the city walls. Captain Genba and the others jumped onto the wall in the blink of an eye. Joel shouted, ordering the two who were reading the adult book to react to the high-level demons. The spotlights shone down. The two hurriedly hid the book behind their backs, shouting nervously, "Yes, yes!" Jago, standing nearby, wondered, "What's going on? Why are there high-level demons?" These were the two that appeared during the previous assessment. Ji Yodao knew the situation better than anyone and denied it. "Those two? I discovered them in the underground cave. They should be dead by now." The bright searchlights swept across the surrounding forest, quickly locating the two demons. "Target spotted! Captain, there are two high-level demons!" Hearing this, everyone was stunned. They truly didn't expect two of them to appear at once. What is attracting them here? Don't panic! Close the city gates! They won't be able to harm us! Joel shouted, ordering everyone to stay alert and prepare defensive weapons. Suddenly, someone cut off his command. "Wait! We can't close the gates!" The two looked over in surprise. Chiyuadao pointed out the strange sight over there. There seemed to be people down there. With the spotlight, he had guessed the situation immediately. Those two damn things, why are they there? Under the spotlights were two tiny humans, Aki and Lu. Jago's face was puzzled by what he was seeing. Why are those two outside the city? The lights shone into the forest, making the dark woods bright as day. The spotlight shone on the ground at the demons captured by the two, the three low-level demons tied up tightly. Shi Yugdao understood in a flash. I get it now. They wanted to finish the Capture Alive mission under the cover of darkness because they were disturbed during the day. Joe frowned, annoyed by their reckless behavior. A little talent makes people impulsive and impatient, the common sickness of new warriors. Ji Yuda was genuinely frustrated with the two who disobeyed orders. Those two brats. Damn it! When we get back, we must severely punish them! In an instant, he had bolted toward the two. Jago quickly reacted. I'll leave it to the other captain. I'm going with you to save them. Commander, I'm leaving it to you. Leaving those words behind, she flew off to fight alongside Ji Yuadao. Watching the two leave, Joel could only sigh heavily. It was so hard to get an evening of drinking, only to have it ruined like this. The two high-level demons also sensed the aura of the two people approaching. Been discovered. Aki reached out to shield Tudu Lu. Lu, hide behind me. Wait for reinforcements. We have to stall for time. However, he also realized the reason they had come. It seems the target is me. Just like the high-level demon last time. A strange thought rose in his heart. Is it because of the reincarnation? Or did something else happen in that underground cave when I was selected? Tudu Lu disagreed with his heroic gesture. No way! We fight together! A voice like it came from hell, accompanied by a gloomy breath. Still want to resist? The two demons saw through their intentions and jumped down to face them. Facing something so powerful, the two weren't sure they could beat them. Their speed was impossible to keep up with. In a flash, one of them lunged behind the two. Kill first! Kill first! It's useless! Tudulu hadn't reacted in time, but thankfully, Aki quickly pushed her aside. Danger! Ha! Just this one blow from the demon shattered the ground. Its tone was disjointed, clearly mimicking humans. React! Quick! React! Tudulu finally reacted, throwing a kick at the demon. Get lost! But she felt she hadn't hit its head at all. A kind of liquid. A few thin, thread-like strings like fishing line had restrained her. Didn't hit? Following the demon's reminder, Tudulu looked back in shock. She didn't know when she had fallen into their control. Looking at the green demon tightening its hands, completely binding all her movements, Aki saw it with his keen eyes. She's been controlled! Lu! The remaining demon was already right in front of him. No, he couldn't afford to be distracted. Before the creature could make a move, it took a massive, perfectly aimed punch to the face. Lucky, you're here! He roared. Don't you dare touch them! The captain truly possessed extraordinary strength. In the blink of an eye, she'd sent the Class 1 demon flying. Tudulu, stay calm, you're safe now. Jago quickly assessed the pair. It looks like the blue core is water type and the red core is earth type. We need to rescue Tudulu first. They were both incredibly strong, especially with their elemental powers. The red core demon, having just recovered from half its face being smashed in, was now guarding tightly. It was a close call, nearly blowing its brains out. Joe, watching from the city wall, realized it's reached a stalemate. They're standing way too close. Everything fell into a tense, silent state. The defensive turrets awaited orders, held back to avoid hitting their own people. Before things could settle, someone came rushing over, panicked. Captain, it's Kelly! A desperate emergency report came in through the night. Surveillance has spotted a massive swarm of wandering demons heading our way. What are the numbers? I can't even count them. A cold shiver ran down their spines. It was a demonic tide. An unforeseen storm was crashing down upon them. The ground shook under the thundering stampede of demons ravenous for human flesh. They shoved one another, jaws agape, revealing razor-sharp teeth. In an instant, the view from the wall turned into a vast black sea. They hadn't even rescued the others, and now they were facing this. John had no choice but to prioritize the defense of the city walls. He bellowed the order, "Ring the alarm bells! Every warrior in the city, get into combat formation immediately!" In a heartbeat, the town was bathed in a blood-red glow. The deafening wail of the alarm bells jolted everyone from their sleep. It's the demonic tide! Everyone grabbed their gear and rushed out. Squads gathered on the walls. Aki and his team also realized the sheer horror and danger of the situation. The wandering demons have been causing so much trouble lately. Looks like this was a planned assault. They bypassed us and headed straight for the city. It's definitely linked to the two that called them here earlier. We have to end this fast! Seeing the situation turn critical in an instant, Tudulu stepped up heroically. Forget about me, save the city. Damn it, this is all my fault. I'm the reason the captain is in trouble. I'm so useless. The water demon holding her captive immediately muffled her. So noisy, shut up. Cruel Duong, of course, couldn't accept a team member sacrificing herself for him. Don't talk nonsense, get back here! The red demon, seeing the two rushing forward, excitedly slammed its fists into the ground. Using Earth-type control, spikes erupted from the earth. He noticed the creature's intelligence. Aki, watch out! The earth spikes rose, even tracking their movements. However, as the two captains smashed the spikes, Aki charged right through them unscathed. The demon looked bewildered, a sight never seen before. Why aren't you attacking me? The red core demon brushed past him, not stopping at all. It was clearly intentional. Ha, you go on ahead. No sooner had it spoken than it zipped past, heading straight for the other two. Cruel Duong also noticed the anomaly. It didn't block Aki? Why? Before he could figure out the reason, the demon lunged, launching an attack. Damn! People are going to die! They've calculated everything, the blue core demon hissed, slipping behind him and leaving a long trail of water as it left. Seeing this, Aki grew anxious and desperate to chase after Lu. But he suddenly stopped, realizing the trap. They were trying to separate him from the captain. It was clearly a death trap. He had to stay calm. He couldn't let reckless bravery get the better of him. His strength right now wasn't enough. Cruel Duong also blocked him, refusing to let Aki go. Don't follow them. You're no match for it. He gritted his teeth, hesitating, but the image of Lu appeared in his mind. That final look in her eyes. It seemed to reflect those who had passed away in his previous life. It was hauntingly familiar. Aki stood frozen, his hands trembling slightly. How can I not follow her? Without another thought, he bolted, determined and without regrets. How could I just abandon? The blue core demon dragged Tudulu deep into the dark forest in a flash. Amidst the swirling mist, it threw her to the ground. Man! Its imitation of human speech was fragmented, but enough to convey its meaning. Interesting. It took sadistic pleasure in acting cold and perverted. Class 1. We are very curious. Curious about the rich emotions of humans. I hear that humans scream and beg for mercy when they're desperate. It seemed it had never experienced that, so it was quite intrigued. Beg for mercy. I want to hear you beg for mercy. Tudulu could only respond with a defiant glare. Seeing this, it waved a hand. I don't get it. Why aren't you screaming? It freed Tudulu's mouth. All right then, scream. Beg for your life. She grit her teeth, her voice dripping with contempt. You? You're not worth it. The water demon tilted its head, confused. Huh? Not worth it? Am I worth it or not? Tudulu coldly recited her lineage. I was born into a martial arts family. I will never bow my head to an enemy. Cowardice is a disgrace to our kind. Either kill me quickly or let's fight again. The water demon, hearing her rant, grew angry. Unable to control its emotions, it kicked her in the head. I'm angry! I'm angry! Tudulu dodged, ending up on the ground. The demon was dissatisfied with her heroic spirit. You're just bait. You're going to die. Hearing the threat, Tudulu's expression didn't change at all. Just as it prepared to strike, Aki arrived just in time. He stood tall, pointing his blade at it. Let her go. I'm your target, aren't I? The moment he appeared, Tudulu's eyes widened. Aki, why did he come by himself? The water demon immediately shifted its focus to him. Aha, you really came! The bait worked! You are the target! This left her confused. Aki is the target? What does that mean? Why him? Aki's face remained tense as he faced a powerful opponent. Lu, are you okay? She lay on the ground, trying to shout, I'm fine! Why did you come alone? You're not a match for a Class 1 demon! Go, run! The blue core demon grew annoyed and kicked her in the stomach without a word. Stop the noise. Seeing this, Aki lost his cool. Hey, don't you hurt her. If I'm your target, then trade me for her. Let her go. The water demon seemed to hear something amusing and turned back. Its body contorted, moving with fluid grace until it was right in front of him in a blink. Hey, you're both going to die. Aki was quick-witted, launching an attack, yet a Class 1 demon wasn't that easy to deal with. It leaned aside and landed a strike on his ribs. The pain was excruciating. Damn it, this body still can't fully react to this kind of speed. The blue core demon's body turned into water, sliding back and forth in front of him. You have the scent like ours. So curious, so curious. It was always jabbering on. Why, Aki? He remained silent, not saying a word. I desperately fended off the attack. This is what they've called the water style for over half a century. The demon kept evolving new traits. Despite blocking, it didn't do much. More scratches started appearing on his face. With this frail body aside from jujutsu, he had no other options. There was simply no other way. If he used his skills and kept going like this, one of them, Aki refused to sit by and wait for death. He couldn't let Aki die. If things keep going like this, we're going to end up dead here, you idiot. Why did you come here by yourself? You're clearly no match for the first rank. While struggling, she accidentally noticed a sharp, rocky outcrop and inched toward it bit by bit. He couldn't just sit and wait to die. Just as Aki blocked a strike, the water demon's arm turned liquid. He didn't hesitate to swing his knife at it. A chance. However, the demon was too fast. It swung its hand, locking his other arm down. You killed the first rank in the mountain cave. You shouldn't be this weak. The water demon was confused by his actions. Who are you pretending to be? I don't even know what you're talking about. What are you blathering about, killing the first rank? You're out of your mind. The demon naturally didn't care about logic. It took his swearing as an insult. Bad attitude. A terrible, terrible attitude needs to be strictly punished. It excitedly twisted and broke the bone in Aki's arm that it had pinned down. Snap! In an instant, the world seemed to spin dizzily. The water demon didn't believe a word he said. You're not being honest. It let go and suddenly lunged, punching him hard in the stomach. You're going to die! The force was so strong that Aki went flying, smashing through several rotten logs. The demon lost patience and shouted, "Speak! Tell me your secret! The secret you're hiding!" However, he didn't even have the breath left to fight back. "It hurts. Have you ruptured my internal organs? How did I end up in a situation like this, being hunted by a cruel first-rank demon?" Tu-Do-Lu, who was busy untying herself, saw this scene. "Aki! Hurry! I have to hurry!" The water demon slowly approached Aki, who was lying crushed on the ground. "If you don't admit it, you'll die, and then I'll eat you." It greedily licked its lips. "I can feel it. You can help me evolve." Its demonic hand slowly reached out toward his body. "Take him with you." Just then, a wave of killing intent surged forward. A blade came within inches of the demon's skull. It nimbly dodged the strike. Tu-Do-Lu, showing no restraint, launched a kick at it. She moved with lightning speed as soon as she freed herself. Tu-Do-Lu kicked the demon, creating distance between them, and landed on the ground in an imposing stance. The knife stabbed straight into the ground. Steadying herself, Tu-Do-Lu took a defensive position, her voice fierce and threatening. "Don't you dare touch my teammate!" The demon was, of course, surprised by her sudden appearance. "You escaped? I never thought—" Aki, dazed, realized it was her. He was truly impressed by her iron will, forcing her way out of the restraints on her wrists and ankles. Her strength. She's no pushover either. Her turquoise eyes glowed with cold warning. "If you want to kill my teammate, you'll have to step over your captain's dead body first." The water demon just grunted and hunched over. "Fine." The water droplets around its body gathered into sharp objects. In no time, it created countless tiny ice needles with its power. "None of you will escape." They were small, fast, and launched instantly at Tu-Do-Lu. She could only desperately swat them away. Aki's voice grew weaker, pleading. "Look, run away!" She gritted her teeth, refusing to give up. "If I run, what will happen to you? Stop arguing with me." "Damn it, there are too many." Suddenly, the demon spoke up with a twisted sense of amusement. "Watch your feet." However, it was already too late. The sharp ice needles had crept near her feet, stabbing her from behind and dragging her toward the water demon. "Come here." In the blink of an eye, Tu-Do-Lu had fallen back into its clutches. It wanted to break her, grabbing her by the throat and lifting her high. Its voice sounded dark and menacing. "After this, I want to hear you scream." Who knows if their end will be as terrifying as it says? Let's wait and see. After a period of fighting, due to the gap in strength, Tu-Do-Lu was grabbed by the neck by the monster. Having successfully subdued her, the monster threw Aki aside, intending not to kill him yet, but to humiliate him. Mentioning this, the monster wore a sinister smile. "After that, I want to hear you scream." Thrown aside by the monster, Aki looked on with hazy eyes as Tu-Do-Lu was choked. Witnessing this scene, even though he was beaten to a pulp, he tried to move back with his last breath. "Lu, let go! Let her go!" Unable to accept this situation, Aki tried to use the last of his strength to crawl over there. It's so ironic. Reborn into this life, and I still have to watch a comrade sacrifice themselves in front of me. Nothing has changed. In the end, I still have to rely on a girl's protection. Wherever he crawled, the power core in his chest would leak out. I can't even protect myself, let alone protect others. He felt all his efforts were for nothing. Aki, unwilling to give up, punched the ground hard. At least I can't just stand by and watch my comrade die while I do nothing. After that punch, a wave of power exploded everywhere. This blast caught the monster's attention. It turned its head to assess the situation. Just as it turned, the monster was struck by several blasts of that power. Taking the opportunity, Aki lunged and pulled Tu-Do-Lu into a corner. Everything happened so fast, and the monster was completely stunned. Yeah, it wasn't attacking. That was just the pressure of the wind. Ignoring the monster's reaction, Aki focused only on the person in his arms. "This is my first time being a captain. You did great, Lu." Hearing that familiar voice, Tu-Do-Lu hesitated. "Aki..." His eyes filled with killing intent as he said, completely emotionless, "Leave the rest to me." After saying that, he gently set her down. At the same time, the monster gradually approached. As the distance closed, the monster commented, You. Oh, our scents are so strong. As expected, you were hiding it. After Tudolu finished resting, Aki stood up, ready to settle the score with that monster. The scent. I don't even know exactly what happened leading up to this. Even he reaches up, sensing the strangeness within his own body. A surge of power in his chest is constantly spreading upward. Realizing this, Aki squints, deep in thought. It feels as if it's about to shatter his body. Then, he lets out a shout, and power explodes everywhere. The energy core that was initially shattered gradually heals, marked by a strange symbol. Seeing that symbol, the monster cannot hide its shock. That heart. That is the heart of a first rank. Tudolu, who is resting nearby, also notices this strangeness. After that explosion of power, Aki's entire aura has changed. However, I notice a strange horn appearing on one side of his face, and his voice rings out, steely and cold. You must die. This is the awakened first-rank form. In another corner, Jago and Kukrong Duong are locked in close-quarters combat. While fighting a monster, the creature suddenly freezes. It stares at the forest in confusion, completely ignoring Kukrong Duong as he approaches. Huh? Dazed? Then a powerful breath. A fellow... kind? Taking advantage of that lack of focus, Kukrong Duong manages to finish it off. You're distracted, you mongrel. And just like that, the monster takes several punches straight to the gut. While he is attacking, Jago quickly leaps over, seizing the opportunity to land a kick right to its face. With that seamless coordination, the monster is sent flying backward. Naturally, Jago doesn't give it a chance to rest. He gains momentum and charges. The monster, battered and bruised, takes a moment before it can even sit up. Too strong, I can't fight this! Before it can do anything, Kukrong Duong and Jago approach again. Once more, it is struck, the attack piercing through its body. Jago doesn't just stop there, but kicks it flying even further. After those continuous attacks, the monster is left with a hole in its body. Looking at its state, it is deeply resentful. You actually dug a hole in me? It says, its whole body emitting a blinding red light. Not only that, at a glance, Jago knows its intent and warns, Duong, be careful, it wants to self-destruct. What are you trying to do? Let me handle it. If the monster can't win, it wants to destroy everything. It grows even more frantic. Humans, you're all going to the grave with me! Before it can do anything, it takes another kick, and the monster is sent flying into the forest. Stuck upside down, it curses, unwilling to accept defeat. Damn humans! The two of them witness this scene, stunned for a moment. It's a defensive posture. It turns out that at this time, the rest of the city walls are also fighting fiercely. After a long while, Joe's strength is gradually being drained. It's enough! We can't kill them all! Realizing the truth, he quickly turns back, heading immediately to the city to regroup as the demons launch an attack on the walls. Jago loudly calls out to his two companions, Duong! Duong! Rao! Duong! Jago immediately catches the signal. We must return to the city immediately. The city needs us. Even with that request, Kukrong Duong stays rooted to the spot. Damn it, the two of you. And Lu, are you going to stay? Hearing these words, Jago consoles Duong. My mood is the same as yours, but we aren't just captains. Fearing he won't agree, she says bluntly, we are also soldiers. Facing this reality, Kukrong Duong has no choice but to accept and go reinforce the city wall, returning to the side of Aki and Tudolu. You human, how are you our own kind? The more the monster observes, the more it realizes something is abnormal. Human? Demon? First rank? No, that's not right. You're even stronger. How can a human grow fins? Ignoring its rambling, Aki keeps his face expressionless. No way. While the main subject says nothing, the monster has already come to its own conclusion. Or is this the meaning of my resurrection? To let me possess all the power of the demons? Can't wait any longer. Aki directly uses his power. While it is still rambling, he throws that energy orb backward, then shifts all that power to fly behind it. And very quickly, it heals all the wounds on Tudolu. Witnessing this phenomenon, the monster deeply doubts its existence. Healing? You? Wood element? To this question, Aki finally answers. He seems to have hazy memories from that moment, Or the cause might be that he absorbed the wood element first rank earlier. Saying this, countless branches sprout up around him. If you've absorbed it, then you... Or maybe I also possess water element power? Witnessing the trees continuously sprouting up, the monster is terrified. What? What kind of power is that? It has never been seen before. Aki stands atop the throne he just created, speaking with excitement. I'm starting to look forward to the power of demons. A monster watches. Aki stands on the tree trunk, and it fearfully backs away. Wood. Wood element? Absorbed wood element? The first rank heart. Became us? Witnessing this reaction, he is extremely satisfied. How interesting. Even in my past life, I had never seen a demon act so scared. Escaping his train of thought, Aki stomps his feet to gain momentum and directly lunges at that demon. While it is still trembling in fear, he taunts it. Attack with everything you've got. Aki doesn't stop there, but continues to provoke it. I want to see what kind of power this body of mine truly has. Facing these words, the demon can't help but wonder, You? Who exactly are you, human? Pausing for the second, it immediately swings its hand to attack, but he dodges easily. Or are you a demon? Stepping back, Aki raises his hand, using the ability he possesses, elemental control. He raises his hand toward the monster opposite him, his tone full of interest. I clearly remember the wood element demon I absorbed had this move. Without further ado, Aki clenches his fist. Immediately, countless branches reach up, forming a cage to trap the monster. Very quickly, it is bound tight. He doesn't stop there. He is crossing his hands. He clenches his fist into a ball. Successfully suppressing the demon, Aki says arrogantly, Doesn't seem that hard after all. Following his words, the branches tighten around the demon, making it scream. Crush it! Crush it! The more it screams, the more Aki enjoys it, squeezing tighter. What? No struggling? Resigned to its fate, the demon plays its trump card. Trump card. I have to use my trump card. Immediately, countless streams of water are aimed straight at where he is standing. Even though he is about to be attacked, Aki still stands his ground. Just as it is about to strike him, he steps back to dodge. From those streams of water, the monster suddenly appears. Dissolve! As soon as it swings its claws, Aki gently blocks it. Not enough. Even though the attack is blocked, the monster quickly swipes its claws at his forearm. No! You can't kill me! Right after that, the demon rips Aki's arm off. You wood element! Seizing the opportunity while he is injured, the monster strikes continuously, mocking him as it attacks. No! It can't be like me! Dividing yourself? Ha ha! Ha ha! You human! Don't understand! You don't understand the power of close-quarters combat! After a while, the demon swings its leg, kicking Aki away. Ignoring the demon's power, you just go at it like that, flying straight back and knocking over all those poor trees. No matter how badly he gets beaten, Aki doesn't even have a scratch. Huh. I'm stronger. I'm stronger. After flying for a bit, he returns to the tree base he created from the start. Using that tree base, Aki gets his footing and prepares to fight again. You're right. I don't know the full extent of what a demon's power can reach, but I am the strongest warrior. Not stopping there, he even confidently declares, My ability to learn is the strongest. Pausing for a moment, Aki says with a firm tone, I'm going to kill you. At the same time, the wound on his arm gradually heals. In no time, he has a fully restored arm. I just need to keep learning, witnessing everything that happens. The demon can't help but doubt reality. Wood-style self-healing? Are you kidding me? Huh? Satisfied with that reaction, Aki continues to show off his healed arm. Look at that. My learning ability is incredibly strong. As soon as he finishes speaking, he stomps hard on the ground. Just like that, the tree trunk Aki created earlier has, at some point, formed into a hand. With enough momentum, he flies straight at the monster. Wherever Aki goes, tree branches appear to support him and provide a boost. In a flash, he appears right in front of it before it can even make a sound. Huh? Then suddenly, Aki vanishes right before its eyes. A moment later, the demon is tightly bound by tree branches erupting from the ground. Huh? It's wrapped around me! At the same time, he approaches and places his hand on its face. Aki then sinks his claws straight into the demon's head, making it shriek in pain. Oh, Ignoring its reaction, he continues the torture. Shh, don't bother hiding anymore. Finishing his sentence, the branches under his feet lift Aki high into the air. Soon he is taller than the monster. Now in a superior position, Aki doesn't hold back at all. Fighting you is getting a bit boring. Suddenly the monster thrashes. Inside its body, it suddenly bloats abnormally, followed by a blue light radiating everywhere. Just like that, the demon explodes right in front of Aki. Because he was within the blast radius, he suffers a few scrapes, but the monster reappears completely unharmed behind Aki. Taking advantage of his distraction, it lunges to end it all. Stupid! Stupid! I can split my body! Before it can do anything, it is once again met by wooden stakes that Aki summoned to pierce and suppress the demon once more. He turns his head and says arrogantly, "Of course I knew that, but as a demon, your heart is what matters most. It's not about splitting your body." Aki then slowly walks toward it, mocking as he goes, "You idiot, have you become too confident in your own ability?" At that very moment, the monster's energy core is extracted by the branches Aki controls. My heart, no matter how much you wish for it. The core is already taken by Aki. Crushing my heart, huh? He holds it up in front of his face, admiring it for a long time. Once the heart is destroyed, even if you're a 7-star demon, you only have death awaiting you. Saying this, Aki looks up with a sinister smile. Your water-style ability. I've already taken it. The monster is officially defeated. It just turns into water and flows down. Having taken out this target, he walks along, inspecting his prize. Without hesitation, Aki crushes it and lets the water flow into his mouth. Makes me even stronger. At that very moment, the demon's thoughts gradually begin to invade his mind after absorbing the energy core of the unfortunate monster. Aki is thrilled. Not a bad taste. Suddenly, his gaze falls upon Tudolu, who is resting behind him. Aki quickly turns into a stream of water and heads closer to that spot. Upon reaching the barrier, he returns to his physical form. Aki purses his lips, a cruel look in his eyes as he stares at the person being treated. Observing for a moment, the entity dwelling inside him begins to manipulate his mind. Demons devour humanity. Kill. Aki, under hypnosis, echoes those very words. Demons devour humanity. Finishing the sentence, he raises his hand to strike. Without a second thought, Aki ruthlessly shatters the barrier protecting Tudolu. Just as he prepares to strike again, a shred of reason remains to hold Aki back. He even bites his lip until it bleeds to snap himself out of it. Damn it! As it turns out, with that remaining shred of reason, he uses his own hand to catch his own attack. Stop, you bastard! Stop! Stop! Successfully blocking the attack, Aki continues to fight the inner persona. How could I kill my own kind? How could I? I was supposed to bring her back. Damn it! Saying this, he hits his head a few times and screams, "Get out of my head!" This entire situation was completely outside the entity's expectations. To think you could actually resist my will. Even so, it isn't angry. Instead, it laughs brightly. Interesting. Back at the fortress, everyone is fighting the demons intensely. Mixed into the fray, Sino and Tomoe are also fighting with all their might. These low-level demons keep crawling up, Sino says, then refocuses on the main issue. He puts all his strength into a punch on the floor, creating a shockwave that pushes the demons back. Temporarily resolving the issue, he turns to ask Tomoe about the situation. Why don't I see An and Lu? Only our squad is scattered. Tomoe answers Sino's question while casually finishing off a demon trying to attack her. When I arrived, I heard from another squad. There are 2 warriors who snuck out of the city and got targeted by 2 first-rank demons. Saying this, she can't hide her worry. It sounds like it's An and Lu. I'm terrified they might die. No matter how restless she is, Tomoe still efficiently clears out all the monsters trying to approach her. Hearing this information, Sino freezes. What did you say? Snuck out of the city? Mentioning this subject makes Tomoe's head ache endlessly. Don't ask me anymore. They got targeted by 2 first-rank demons, good heavens. I really don't want to think about it. She wants to keep talking, but another wave of demons charges in, forcing Sino to fight. Damn it! Damn demons! Why did 2 first-rank demons suddenly appear? Putting that issue aside, the 2 of them focus on dealing with the demons emerging in front of them. First, they focus on handling the dimensional demons. In another corner, Jago and Kukruong also do their duties. As team leaders, they smoothly take down the demons one by one. Below, Dao Heo looks at his two teammates and asks, Ruong, Ra'ao, how is your heart status? Cook Ruong doesn't answer immediately, focusing on fighting the monsters first. After finishing, he hurriedly turns to report. Heart depletion isn't too severe. Ra'ao's heart status must be similar to mine. Receiving the answer, Joe begins to analyze. A warrior's heart can be depleted. The higher the burst level, the greater the depletion. The ability to perform at any given moment will become weaker and weaker. But earlier, joining forces with Ruong to deal with the first-rank demon, our heart status is still like healthy. Otherwise, these dimensional demons would be very troublesome. No matter what, Jago continues to take down the demons one by one. Finished, she turns to ask Joe, El Cuni, what are you planning? Since you asked, I'll combine a bit of bluster with some actual analysis. You guys killing that first-class demon definitely reduced the enemy's offensive pressure, since another one isn't here right now. These shapeless monsters are like an army without a commander, attacking aimlessly with no strategy. Though, to be fair, they don't exactly have the capacity for thought. Joe watched the monsters trembling in the distance, exposing them. But knowing the true terror of death must be making them even more fearful, he immediately gave the order. We need to crush their desire to attack, giving our warriors on the walls time to recover. Everyone, stay focused and prepare to unleash your heart's power just once. Receiving the order, the two of them went all out, launching themselves high into the air to survey the battlefield and deal with these beasts. After taking it all in, they dove down like moths to a flame. The moment they hit the ground, a massive explosion erupted, blasting every monster in the vicinity to pieces. Having temporarily pushed the horde back, the pair braced for the next strike. Counting the skirmish earlier, this was their second time pushing their heart energy to the limit today. If my heart and body didn't have limits, I'd stay in this state forever and wipe them all out, he muttered, before they charged into another corner to shred the monsters. Joe was burning with everything he had. The explosive power of the red core is truly overwhelming. With that thought, he blurred into motion, the monsters falling wherever he went. Watching this, the soldiers on the walls stood with their jaws dropped. Incredible! It's my first time seeing the captains fight like this. They're so strong. Sino had a chance to watch as well, but the more he looked, the more insecure he felt. This was the true power of a rank 1 heart warrior. He was so envious, knowing he had to become a warrior like them. After a fierce battle, the three of them were gasping for air. Are you guys still okay? Yeah, I'm fine. My body can still hold up. At least they were killing them effectively. But no matter how hard they fought, the monsters remained swarming. No matter how exhausted he was, Joe kept rallying everyone. Those bastards, looks like it's finally having an effect. Now is the time to support our warriors. After steadying himself, he turned to motivate the soldiers standing on the fortress walls. Warriors, restore your status! Keep fighting! The demon wave must be pushed back! Hearing this, the soldiers were fired up. Understood. Our three captains are truly reliable. Joe felt quite satisfied with their reaction. Very good. We can also... Suddenly, his eyes widened with vigilance. Careful, something's coming. Jago felt it too and hesitated, turning to ask Joe. Is it the remaining rank 1 demon? From far away, a figure gradually appeared. Watching that shadow, the three of them slowly realized it was Aki. Because of Aki's arrival, the monsters around them, for some reason, all took the initiative. They parted to both sides to make way. Looking at the familiar figure approaching, Jago couldn't help but feel confused. That's Aki and Tudolu. Then what happened to that rank 1 demon? Hearing this, Joe watched Aki and Tudolu even more carefully. Hey, Aki! Even though those shapeless monsters just had their desire to attack dampened by us, it's impossible for him to just walk through like that. The two of them will be instantly swarmed if they react. No sooner had he spoken than the monsters regained their senses, ready to pounce. Seeing them about to be attacked, the three captains quickly rushed to save them. You bastards! How dare you! Although he was about to be attacked, Aki stood perfectly still. When the monster's claws were inches from him, Aki glanced up and snapped, 1 minute! Every monster present immediately froze, and the next second, a strange surge of energy pushed them all far back. The monsters then collectively knelt, their bodies trembling in sheer terror. Then, one of them, overwhelmed by fear, turned and fled. With one leading the way, all the remaining monsters retreated. It happened so unexpectedly. It forced the captains to slam on their brakes. The demon wave. It's retreating. The entire swarm that had been like a storm before the walls vanished. Not a single one left. The soldiers on the walls watched. Witnessing this scene, they were stunned. Wait, is the demon wave? After confirming the situation, everyone erupted into cheers. The demon wave is retreating! We won! We protected the city! Everyone became increasingly excited until two soldiers suddenly noticed something strange. We won, but why did they suddenly retreat? Was it the captain's powerful attack that scared those beasts off? Don't be stupid, of course that's why. Hearing this confirmation, the soldiers on the walls cheered in unison. The explosive power of our three captains is unmatched. Too strong. The captains are so strong, I'm so envious of them. Being cheered by everyone so suddenly, the three of them looked at each other, confused. Is this really because of us? Thinking this, Jago hesitated and looked in a certain direction. Or was it because of, he wondered, looking at the sight of Aki holding Tu Do Lu. After driving off all those monsters, he took a deep breath, and then his body collapsed, completely drained. Seeing this, the three captains rushed over. Jago pushed all his questions aside. Save him first, we can figure out the rest later. On the surface, he was unconscious, but Aki's consciousness was clear, trapped in a strange, empty space. You're enjoying it, aren't you? My power. Hearing this voice, he finally paid attention. Who are you? Not surprised by the question, the voice answered honestly. You met me once half a century ago. You really should remember. Upon hearing the answer, Aki remained calm. The 8 ranks. You are one of the 2 8 ranks I saw that day. Exactly how many 8 ranks are there? The moment the question was asked, the voice immediately evaded it. Hey, don't worry about it. You'll know in due time. With that, the owner of the voice appeared right beside Aki. Looking at him lying there comfortably, the demon introduced himself and offered a reminder. I am the Red King rank, the strongest of the 8 ranks. Observing the figure who had just appeared in front of him, Aki, aside from a flicker of surprise, he remained very calm. The Red King rank wasn't too surprised by this reaction. You aren't even panicked or rattled when you see me. No wonder your mind is strong enough to resist my suggestions. You truly are the strongest warrior. Escaping his train of thought, he spoke as if to comfort him. But you don't need to worry about that for now. I won't hurt you. These words made Aki jump. Why me? What exactly happened to my body? Faced with such questions, the Red King merely rubbed his forehead and replied dismissively. A lot of things. With that, he reached out and grabbed Aki's head while the boy stood there in a daze. Another Red King appeared out of nowhere and gently reassured him, You'll understand in time, no need to rush. As he said this, he gently ran his claw along the boy's body. Your body is mine now too. Because of certain reasons, I have to enter a deep slumber for a while. For our future safety, it's going to be a tough road ahead, so you'll need to focus on evolving. At the same time, the original Red King stood up, baiting him. Then approach my infinite perfection. Once free from the other Red King's control, Aki stood up slowly and snarled, You monsters! What do you even take us humans for? Bringing this up made him furious. He moved to punch the chaotic mess that had killed his people, but before he could do anything, Aki was pulled back to this real world. Brother, hey! Wake up! It turned out he had accidentally grabbed Situ Liu by the collar. Because of that action, Aki saw everything he needed to see. Too bright. Wait a second. Looking at the beautiful scenery before him, he stood there blankly. What am I doing? After a moment of confusion, Situ Liu broke free from Aki's grip and turned to leave. At the same time, the disciples behind them jumped in to restrain him. Where the hell did this guy get the nerve? Damn it, even if you are the young Mrs. Savior, you can't be forgiven. How dare you be so disrespectful to our young miss? Cut off this hand first, then die. Just then, a dignified voice rang out, stopping them. From afar, an imposing figure approached. Is this the courtesy one should show to a savior? Everyone recognized who it was and immediately bowed respectfully. Master! Aki, who was being pinned to the ground and beaten, also noticed the shift in atmosphere. The master? He stared at the man who had just arrived. The man seemed to sense that gaze. Joel stepped forward to introduce him. This is the renowned martial arts master of Helachu City, head of the Situ family, Situ Huanggong. He turned to Aki. You're from our Helachu City, right? Why do you act like you've never heard of him? Aki didn't pay much attention to these introductions. The captain's father. It seems he took good care of me while I was unconscious. Once released, he quickly stood up and bowed. Thank you, Master Situ, for your care. Please forgive my rudeness. Suddenly being thanked so formally, Situ Huanggong smiled kindly. It's nothing. He walked over and patted Aki's shoulder a few times to reassure him. You saved my daughter's life. Our Situ family appreciates your bravery. Having said that, Situ Huanggong turned to give some instructions to the three captains. Tonight, everyone should rest at this dojo. Let's celebrate the great victory in the demon extermination today. The three of them bowed in unison. Then we shall trouble you, Master Huanggong. Regarding their formality, he laughed and pointed toward Situ Liu. You three were raised under my watchful eye. Why be so polite? Just treat the Situ dojo like your own home. On the contrary, the girl has been a nuisance to you. She was born headstrong, needs to be punished, needs to be disciplined. In the future, I'll have to rely on you to train her. Don't hold back. Suk Ru Dung heard this and replied respectfully. Master Huanggong, rest assured we will fulfill our duties. Situ Liu looked far from pleased with this request. After the conversation, he noticed Aki nearby. Sorry for the trouble, Anne. Let us ask him a few questions. Once they moved to another room, the three of them surrounded him. Anne didn't beat around the bush. Cook Rudung went straight to the point. Starting from the warrior exam, the appearance of the first-ranked demon, and now this demon tide. Do you know anything about it? No sooner had he finished speaking than Joel followed up. Even though you're one of our team members, we can't hesitate. He paused, then took the initiative. Let me handle this. And was a person of action. Joel spoke up. I'll ask you directly. You're not like Cook Rudung. Are you a demon? The three captains exerted their pressure to keep Aki in check. Lying? Seeing the group suspicious of him, Aki looked up at them in confusion. His eyes widened in shock. The three of them were still staring at him, doubting him. He scratched his head and gave a wry smile. I'm a demon? Are you all trying to mess with me? Liu and I barely escaped from the clutches of a first-ranked demon. Beside him, Joel shoved his hands into his pockets and stepped closer. Another first-ranked demon required both Dung and Da Ok working together to defeat it. Could it be? His gaze was probing, a smirk on his face as he looked down at him, questioning. You managed to take down a first-ranked demon all by yourself? Then, he crossed his arms, leaned in until he was face-to-face, and asked, How did you manage to get Liu out so easily? Aki tilted his head in confusion, stepping back, thinking to himself, Is there really no other way? This time I've made them seriously suspicious. What excuse can I use? Joel's eyes were sharp as knives. He bared his teeth, staring at him, judging him. Or perhaps because you're an accomplice of the demons, that's why you can always escape their hands? Hearing this, Aki could only grit his teeth, lost in thought, paralyzed by fear. Do I really have to reveal my secret here? Can I tell them my secret? If I speak, what will await me? He imagined himself being sliced into pieces, blood splattering everywhere, and couldn't help but panic. Will they kill me on the spot? Aki gritted his teeth, realizing they wouldn't let this opportunity pass. They won't believe I'm human. They'll just see me as a demon. After all, inside my body, the real monster is still fast asleep. Inside my body is the strongest demon. Joel summoned his weapon, his killing intent suffocating as he threatened him. If you don't talk, I'll make my move. Aki's eyes went wide, his hands clenched tight. Looking at the summoned blade, he was gripped by panic. What do I do? Do I have to fight them here? Damn it, do I have to fight them? Suddenly, Jago stepped forward and grabbed his wrist, stopping him. That's enough, Tunyi. Stop making a scene. She thought about the demons, confirming that only 4th or 5th ranked demons could take on human form. As it stands, and could only be a 4th ranked demon, even if he could reach our C-ranked town, it wouldn't make sense. She stroked her hair with one hand, winking at him affectionately. Behind them, Jukong finally spoke up, his face expressionless. There is one more point. Demons do not save their own kind because they have no concept of kind. They are a selfish, cruel species. All three of them looked at him, while he tilted his head to look at the boy, recalling the moment the two of them escaped death. But the way and risked his life to bring Liu back. I don't believe he's a demon. Beside him, Joe suddenly stopped being tense, patted the boy on the back, and acted so excitedly that the other two were bewildered. I know, I just wanted to tease him a little. Why are you all being so serious? Having said that, he also smiled and stroked Aki's hair. You and Lu basically took a trip through the gates of hell. You've worked hard. You've really worked hard. Opposite them, Ju Kwang's expression remained serious as he announced, however, Lu told me that when she fought the first-rank demon, she passed out. After that, she doesn't know what happened. His shadow loomed over the boy, followed by the interrogation. Finally, you saved Lu from the demon's clutches. What exactly happened? Jago stared, recalling that monster, looking at the boy in confusion. Could it be that you actually defeated a first rank? Aki's eyes trembled slightly under their questioning. He sat up straight, fingers interlaced in front of him, lost in thought. That's right, I did defeat it. I kept thinking about the demon inside me. Why did I forget other possibilities? Aki's expression. Full of arrogance, he pointed at himself, making the other three want to punch him. Actually, I'm a genius. At this statement, even he felt embarrassed and coughed. I acted a bit too much. I can absorb most of the energy in my heart core in a short time to use it immediately, subsequently unleashing power that far exceeds my current strength. This is my secret weapon. Seeing this, Du Kwang looked at him suspiciously. You said you absorb most of the heart core energy in a short time? What kind of effect is that? Like how we stimulate the heart core energy? Aki looked at her, feeling a bit guilty. That's right. His heart was in turmoil. Explaining it like this, would they believe him? All three looked on in silence. Joe, beside him, suddenly burst into laughter. If that's really the case, then you really are a genius. Jago looked at him, concluding, You mean this time and the last time, you used that kind of ability to defeat the first-rank demon? On the bed, Aki sat with his arms on his knees, head bowed, seriously confirming, Yes, the first time was when I discovered this ability. The body absorbs all the heart core energy in a short time, then unleashes a powerful strike, taking advantage of the demon being unprepared to blow its body apart. Because it was the first time I awakened it, I lost consciousness afterward. This time I also used that method to defeat the first-rank demon that kidnapped Lu, because my body couldn't handle the sudden surge in energy. So, after persisting in bringing Lu back, I passed out. Hearing this, Du Kwang raised a hand to his chin, lost in thought. If it's truly as he says, then I can explain. Why a few times I found his heart core cracked. It's because the energy in the heart core was absorbed beyond its limit. The surrounding space became quiet. He concluded, It really is just that, because Anne is a genius. Jago closed her eyes, bowed her head, and shrugged. If it's really as you say, then this ability of yours has truly exceeded the scope. What you can grasp now is actually similar to how our captain stimulates energy. Our captain, through high-intensity training, can suppress the damage to the body to the lowest level when stimulating energy because we can control it. So before you learn how to control it, you must try your best not to use this ability. I'm afraid it's dangerous. Suddenly, Ju Kung lunged forward, cutting her off. She's right. So let me test this ability of yours. And if you're a genius, let me check your body too. He radiated killing intent, thumb pointing outside, suggesting, Let's go to the training grounds. Nighttime. The two stood outside the training grounds, facing each other. Aki was still reaching out to adjust his gear, checking it. This guy is still doubting me. His hand slammed into the ground, causing it to crack. His body emitted steam, his expression serious, hand touching the ground in a defensive stance. Come on. Seeing this, the boy could only smile wryly. Please go easy on me, Captain Du Kwang. He radiated killing intent, staring at him intently. The boy was full of anxiety. That's it. I'm definitely no match for him now. Even though this little ability of theirs is just the absolute basics compared to my past life. However, this current body absolutely cannot utilize it. Aki twisted the badge on his chest. What do I do? Or should I try to use the demon's energy? He leaped toward him, shouting, Come on! He lunged. The boy tried to dodge the attack. His foot stomped on the ground. A kick slashed over Aki's head. He ducked to dodge it. The boy's eyes were filled with surprise looking at the sole of the shoe sliding past his face. Aki turned his head to look at the crack in the ground, somewhat panicked. He's actually doing it! Outside, Jago shouted, reminding him, Du Kyung, know when to stop. Inside the fight, Du Kung looked at him, praising, Ignoring everything else, your reaction time isn't bad at all. Aki's eyes were somewhat panicked. It's entirely relying on the combat experience of my past life, but this level is already the absolute limit. Immediately after, Ju Kyung swung his arm, preparing to punch down, making the boy panic too. I'm going to be serious now. A punch slammed directly into the ground, making it shake and crack. Dust began to settle. Afterward, Aki leaped out of the attack, destroying the training grounds floor like this. This guy really doesn't treat me like an outsider. Behind him, Ju Kwang's body lunged, making the boy panic. His hand gripped the boy's neck, making him frantically shout. He looked down from above. Is that all you've got? Aki grabbed his neck, making him panic. Damn it, this body is completely unable to escape his restraint. His leg tripped the boy's leg. Immediately after, Aki's body was kicked, flying toward the wall behind. Beside them, Joe and Jago rushed over in a panic. Dao Hio frowned and warned him, saying he was going a bit too far. Let's go stop them, Jago pouted, adding that Duong wasn't exactly someone who knew when to quit. Meanwhile, the guy opposite him, looking furious, slammed his fist into his palm and glared down. Is this all the strength you've got? Then you have no right to call yourself a genius. Aki curled up behind the wall, lost in thought. I really can't stand this kind of arrogance. He turned and stood up. If this were my past life, I was the man every warrior called king. Kuk Dio Duong, the absolute legend. You, in this place, wouldn't even be considered my grandson. As he stepped forward, smoke swirling around his body, he said, If you claim to be a genius but can't even show the strength a genius should have, then you don't pass. Since I've been reborn, I can't hold myself to the standards of my past life. The core on Aki's chest began to glow. He grinned, daring to secretly borrow the power of the fiend. Demon, you coward, give me your power. You won't hold a grudge against a 200-win kid like me for playing a little dirty, will you? His body emitted a murderous aura, his face darkened, and the onlookers were startled as he charged toward Diu Kwong, radiating an intense pressure. Aki stood before him, the captain of the elite squad. His eyes were full of determination, as if his soul from a past life had manifested behind him. It's my turn to attack. Seeing this, the other man stared in confusion, his mouth trembling in shock. This energy? The energy released was overwhelming, making the crowd tremble. The ground beneath them cracked, and everyone watched in silence. After unleashing the devil's power, his hands tightened. The energy kept rising by the percentage. Even the synchronization rate of this low-level core is skyrocketing. It seems that now I only need to focus my intent to stimulate even more of this body's potential and abilities. Joe's eyes went wide with shock. Can you feel his synchronization rate? It's constantly climbing. Jago also stared in panic. Don't tell me our backwater town of Haklatu actually has a genius among geniuses. Juking was also stunned, watching him approach with such a murderous aura. This kind of presence, his synchronization rate must be at least 40% by now, and it's still skyrocketing. He remembered Tudo Lu. During their sync, he recalled Tudo Lu's rate was 39% and surpassed Lu in just one move. Suddenly, he spoke up, startling the captain. Captain Kuk Ju Duong. He stepped forward, fists clenched, the surrounding smoke fading away. Don't lose focus. He frowned and swung his hand, warning, Here I come. A punch shot straight toward his body. Ju Kyung grinned excitedly, watching his movements. This kid, His speed just doubled, and his physical stats are climbing right along with it. He smiled. Captain Kuk Ju Duong. Right after that, Aki turned and threw a kick that surprised him. That was a feint. He swept his leg, causing Ju Kwang to stagger and fall. The captain grinned, deep in thought. This kid is pretty good. He actually took advantage of the opening when I got distracted. A very clever attack followed by another to unbalance his opponent. Suddenly, Aki crouched again. He was still confused, but another kick was already flying at him. Outside, Joe frowned, observing, that attack was very focused. And where did he get such rich combat experience? Someone approached from behind, surprising the two of them. Close quarters combat against someone who specializes in physical fighting? That doesn't seem like a good idea for Duong Duong. They shouted in surprise. Uncle Huan Chung! He smiled as he watched the fight. That is Tudo Huan Kung, the head of the Tudo family. Jago turned and grabbed his arm. Uncle Huan Kung, when did you get here? He calmly explained, I just arrived. You kids were so focused. Joe scratched his head, feeling a bit embarrassed. Sorry, Uncle Huankong. Duong borrowed the training field to spar with this kid and caused a bit of a scene. He looked at the wreckage in the training field. You kids call this a bit of a scene? Dao Heo winked. Compensation. Make Duong pay for it. Huankong smiled, excitedly looking ahead. I'm just joking. I actually want to see how the kid who shares a name with the greatest warrior will face the counterattack from little Duong. On the other side, Du Kuang grabbed Aki's ankle. His feet slid back, but he still kicked down. He looked up at him calmly. I've got you. Huankong remembered Du Kuang when he was little. Little Duong has been like this since he was small. As long as you give him a chance to counter, no matter how brief, he will seize it precisely. Not to mention after so many years of fighting demons at close range. He's developed superior timing and judgment. The kid, Anne, was caught by the ankle and couldn't escape. He was likely going to suffer for it. The captain swung his hand, preparing to strike. While holding his ankle with the other hand, Aki suddenly smiled, his face full of excitement. I've got you now, Captain Cook Du Duong. He twisted his body, catching Du Kuang off guard. Finally, Aki's head slammed hard into his forehead. The three others watched in shock as his body flew backward. Du Kuang held his head, looking up in surprise. He stumbled and Aki backed away. This kid! He landed on the ground. Human bones are very sturdy, but the forehead is very soft. Saying that, Aki charged forward. Take this, Captain Cook Du Duong! The captain's face contorted in shock. He waved his hand and gritted his teeth. Fine, let's fight! Come on! Joe shouted in surprise. It looks like Duong isn't planning on stopping. A powerful blow struck, cracking the earth. Aki's eyes went wide. A move that's both offensive and defensive? He reached out his hand, grinning with excitement. All right then, let's see what this demon power can do. Aki's invisible hand reaches out, a single punch shattering the wall of Du Kuang's energy barrier. He looks up in shock, eyes wide. What the? He stammers, facing Aki. Suddenly, through a haze of smoke, Aki appears right behind him, arms swinging toward Jago. On the sidelines, they realize he's using the mist to maneuver into his opponent's blind spot. Using Dung's own technique against him? Joe muses, slightly unsettled. He's a real eye for an eye type, isn't he? Huankong smiles, noting his intent. Or perhaps it's just terrifyingly fast learning. Right then, Du Kuang lunges at him. Don't forget, this is my technique. No one knows it better than me. Aki blocks his strike with a single arm. The two of them look back at the fight. Huankong's face darkens as he confirms, Tu Dung has lost. In the ring, Du Kuang is sent reeling backward. He looks down at his waist where the punch just missed. A deliberate miss? Was that last strike of An's intentional? Aki steps back, waiting. Captain, Cook Ru Dung has always used catching as a counterattack. If he'd started getting serious from the get-go, I might not have come out of this so easily. Aki moves so fast he creates after-images. He raises a fist, aiming for his opponent's temple. A direct hit would mean Jago takes massive damage in an instant. After-images to create false openings. I might as well use that trick too. Aki stands tall, looking down at him with a wink and a smirk. So have you guys finally taken my word for it? Du Kuang closes his eyes, silent. Behind them, the ruins of the wall show a distinct handprint. He frowns, puzzled. A genius? Outside, Huankong's eyes widen in amazement as he evaluates Anne. If it's this kid, maybe he really could. Outside the door, a noise catches everyone's attention. Tomoe pushes the door open with two people behind her. Dinner isn't even ready yet. What are you guys all busy doing? Listening to the commotion, she sees the spread of delicious food prepared in the house, then notices the intense atmosphere. She looks up, covering her mouth in shock. What is everyone doing? What are you all doing? The ruined training ground is laid out before her. Aki scratches his head with a sheepish grin. Most of this was Captain Cook Ru Dung's doing. Tudolu watches them, silently assessing the situation. A spar? Joe and Jago walk toward him. Joe smirks. Got hurt, did you? Du Kuang keeps his hands on his hips. Aki replies humbly, maybe. Because Captain Cook Ru Dung is always fighting demons, it's hard not to get caught off guard when the opponent is a kid like me. Outside, Huankong suddenly bursts out laughing. He turns his head and exclaims, Stop being so formal. A spar is just a spar. Let's start the victory feast. Aki walks past him, waving a hand calmly. Perfect, I'm starving. Thanks for the hospitality. In that case, I won't hold back either. Huan Kung watches Aki's retreating figure, deep in thought. Won't admit defeat, has real power, knows when to stop, and even saved face for Tudong. His combat intelligence is absolutely limitless. Suddenly, he calls out to Tudo Lu, who is standing beside him. He looks down at her. That young man is quite something. Are you interested in him? She blushes, eyes wide with shock. What? Night falls outside the window. Inside, the dinner table is lively. Huan Kung raises his glass, and everyone at the table raises theirs toward him. On behalf of all the residents in the district, I thank you all for your protection. And to the warriors who fought until the very last minute, thank you. I then looks at Aki, who is taken by surprise. And to you, a remarkably talented young man. He adds, thank you for saving my daughter. Aki stands up respectfully and bows. It was the right thing to do. The right thing to do, Master Huan Kung. No need to be so formal. Suddenly, Du Kung lunges from the side, whacking Aki on the head. Are you even of age yet, kid? How dare you drink? Aki, head spinning from the blow, shouts back indignantly. I am of age. I'm 18. Well, I think. Doesn't the warrior exam require you to be 18? Jago smiles, explaining from the side. Dung is just taking this chance for revenge. Huan Kung laughs heartily. It's fine, it's fine. Saying that, he nudges Tudo Lu, who is sitting nearby, muttering, of age is good, of age is good. She understands her father's implication, pouts unhappily, and turns away, annoyed. Earlier at the training ground, Huan Kung had stood seriously in front of her. I watched the match. I discovered that young man is truly something. His talent and potential are no less than yours. He smiles, concluding, if it's him, he might just be able to make a haughty girl like you skip a heartbeat. Tudo Lu looks up at her father, confused. What? What kind of old-fashioned logic is that? Make me skip a heartbeat? She clenches her fist, remembering the moment Aki accidentally touched her. Dad, stop joking. Besides, that guy is a total idiot. Just then, Tomoe enthusiastically picks up her camera, eyes sparkling at the feast. I'm so lucky that Sinak and I get to share in your success. Beside her, Sino also looks at him confused. But really, how could Anne of all people repel a first-rank demon? Du Kung, sitting nearby with his arms crossed, explains, this kid can forcibly absorb the majority of a heart core's energy. In a short burst, he can exceed his current strength. Jago adds seriously, it's similar to how our captain absorbs heart core energy. He probably only triggers that explosion when he's in a life-or-death situation. She glances at Aki. But that's extremely dangerous. Without proper training, it will cause fatal damage to his body. Even worse, it could lead to irreversible trauma. Finally, Joe gives his assessment. Earlier we had Anne and Dung spar. He raises his glass and smiles. It was an incredible display of power, but Anne needs more training. Otherwise, his body won't be able to hold up. Aki narrows his eyes, lost in thought. If I told them I absorbed the cores of 2 first-rank demons, and that I possess the recovery abilities of a wood type in there. He continues to ponder the energy flow within his body. So even though this frail body can't really hold up, it can still recover quickly. Then you just close your eyes and give a bitter smile, don't say too much. Let them think I possess an ability to absorb core hearts, like the captain's. That's already plenty good. You agree with them, the captain is right, which is why I lost consciousness afterward. Looks like I need to step up my physical training. Hearing this, Sino also looks at you, astonished. She didn't expect you to have that kind of ability. Not bad, we can fall back now. Beside them, Tomoe lifts her camera, snapping photos of your impressive form. Elsewhere, Situ Liu silently glances your way, observing you. That guy actually has that kind of ability. No wonder he was able to save me back then. Facing them, Yao Qiong speaks up again. Technically, there should be a penalty for your and Lu's unauthorized nighttime activities. His eyes are full of anger, but considering you two killed a first-class demon, I'll let you redeem your merit. Both of you can only sigh. Joel raises his wine glass and smiles. But don't get too happy yet. The squad competition is still ongoing. Jago rests his chin on his hand. Your squad is currently in last place. Starting tomorrow, we really need to break through and earn some points. Hearing that, you also smile, clenching your fist firmly. Of course, our squad's goal is the top of the leaderboard. They scramble for missions, And since the target after the demonic Twilight event was set, a month has flown by in a flash. The squad scoreboard is entering a heated stage. Because everyone wants to grab as many points as possible, the squads have locked their targets onto A-rank missions, but getting those missions in such a short window is extremely difficult. The four of you put your heads together, and after Liu and the others finish deliberating, they reach a major decision. They decide to find a fat sheep. The target stares at them, looking a bit confused. What? You're using points to challenge us? The team's plan is using points as a wager to challenge another squad. The target is the Black Spear Squad. He turns around, looking arrogant. Do you guys remember the one from last time? Across from him, Situ Liu crosses her arms with her team, urging, "Don't waste time. 10 points, one by one." As she speaks, the target puts on his mask, agreeing, 10 points, sure. The stake for the first duel is equivalent to emissions points, huh? Real smart at setting prices, but I don't mind. This time, not only did Captain Jowdy come to stop us, but we'll settle both old and new scores at once. He stands in front of her, while their teammates stand behind them. Then, at the arena, the crowd below is noisy, a new squad challenging an old squad. For real? 10 points for a single match? I don't even know how tough this new squad is. They can't even kill many void demons, yet they're acting so cocky. It's almost the end of the month. Couldn't get any missions, so they came up with this dirty trick? This is interesting. The Black Spear Squad isn't exactly a pushover either. They really dare to do this? On the stands, 2 women are standing there. The crowd is getting bigger and bigger. If you want to back out now, there's still time. Don't say we're bullying the newbies. Who's going to end up embarrassed is anyone's guess. You glance over, confused. Captain, why aren't you going up? He looks up at the stands and explains, the one representing us is a girl. If they lose and start making excuses, they won't pay the points. Actually, our 2 vice captains are girls. Up above, the girl holding the long needle steps forward with confidence. She says arrogantly, dealing with you is already giving you enough face. Hearing this, you just smile. Is that so? I advise you not to underestimate our squad. Aki's face is full of glee, reminding them she's not just an ordinary girl. Below, Tomoe holds the camera, recording while whispering to Liu, it's starting. Up top, she slowly approaches the other girl, her body beginning to radiate energy from her core. She reaches out in provocation. Let's make this quick. 10 points, 10 points, let me grab them. Situ Liu calmly introduces herself. I am the eldest daughter of the Situ family, Situ Liu, also known as the non-smiling Rakshasa. She adds, today, I want to have a little discussion. The other girl sees this and laughs smugly, channeling her energy. Come on, then! As soon as she finishes the sentence, she rushes forward, throwing a straight punch that startles her opponent. The vice captain's face contorts. She's not a level 6 recovery type? How can she be as fast and agile as a blue core type? She channels energy into her wrist, surprising the other girl, who finally drops her weapon and signals surrender. Situ Liu's eyes are determined, thinking to herself, just as I expected. These older squads, even though they became warriors a bit earlier than us, rely mostly on teamwork. If you fight them one-on-one, their offense and defense have no tactical structure at all. Teamwork is a good thing, but it lowers the individual ability of each person. On the other side, the vice captain's hands are shaking. She cries out in pain as energy is poured into her muscles, causing herself to spasm. Then, Situ Liu interlocks her fingers and raises them, her energy fading as the gap opens up. The cardinal sin in battle. Precise strikes hit repeatedly, hitting the girl's body. The target stares in shock, while you, standing to the side, smile with satisfaction. Every single strike landed exactly on her joints and muscles. The vice captain collapses to the ground. Above, Situ Liu looks down and explains, the Situ family is most skilled in physical combat. With that, she flips her hair and turns to leave. Taking it easy, huh? That team's people rush up quickly to tend to the vice captain. Down below, the crowd whispers as they look at her. Situ Liu really lives up to being the most notable among the newcomers. Did their squad climb up just because of her? No wonder she's called the non-smiling Rakshasa. That was so cool. It turns out it's Situ Liu. Now I'm not so sure anymore. When it comes to physical combat, there aren't many who are her match. Then you smile and turn to the target, emphasizing, hey, remember to count those 10 points for our squad. His eyes are full of anger, thinking, damn it, Situ Liu really isn't bad. Then he shouts, pointing at Aki. I'll go myself. Do you still dare to challenge me? I'll take you all on myself. You still got the guts to fight me? Seeing that offer, Zito also looked over, betting 20 points. She tapped her chest, heart racing with excitement. 20 points, fine! Suddenly, an arm shot up in front of her. Captain's just finished a fight. Let her rest a bit. Aki stepped forward, full of energy, pointing a thumb at himself with a grin. Let me go. But the guy opposite him yelled back, full of disdain. You? You're not even worth my time. Beat it. I'm only fighting your captain. Aki just offered a cocky smile. I already said, she's our captain. Doesn't that mean you gotta take me down first? Before you even earn the right to challenge her? He shrugged provocatively. Unless, of course, you aren't confident enough to even fight me. Either way works for me. The vice captain rolled her eyes. His taunting is way too clumsy. But in front of them, the guy had already stepped up, pointing at Aki's chest. Fine, you're on. I'll beat you so bad even your own mother won't recognize you. The rest of the team panicked. Captain, he fell for it. Behind them, Shino whispered excitedly, and is about to get on stage. She was already pumped, camera in hand. Getting it, I'm getting it. The stands were buzzing, every eye glued to them. The target reached out and summoned his weapon. He gripped the gun, grinning confidently. I switched to training rounds, compressed air. No need to worry about real injuries, though getting hit will still sting. Aki narrowed his eyes, sizing him up. They have special ammo for training now? That's impressive. Back in my day, we didn't have stuff like this. Gunners who wanted to rank up had to use real bullets on the real battlefield. Aki cracked his knuckles and stepped forward. All right then, better aim true. The cocky guy kept laughing smugly. No wonder you're a rookie. Even among warriors, the captain's accuracy is something you don't mess with. Don't you feel embarrassed saying that out loud? Up there, the target held his gun steady, staring him down. Confidence is good. I'll let you use any weapon you want. Whatever you want, don't say this old captain is bullying you. Deep down, Aki was still lost in thought, weighing his own weapons and how to take him down. Weapons. Right now, I only have a standard combat knife. Thinking of my gear from my past life. I really miss it. That one was one of a kind. My true partner. I wonder if it's still left back there somewhere. Aki's hand clenched tight, and he flashed a confident smile. Forget it. It's fine, I'll just use my fists. That cool? The guy stared in total confusion. What? Fists? The lackeys behind them were wide-eyed, baffled. Fists? What is he even talking about? The target burst into a mocking laugh, pointing at Aki's face with contempt. You want to go hand-to-hand with me? Have recruits these days gotten that delusional? He shook his head. I gave you a chance. And you chose to go barehanded. Then I'll be happy to oblige. Aki picked at his ear as he walked forward. You talk way too much. Someone should really install a silencer on that mask of yours. He probably thinks he's a lion. Mighty and hunting a tiny rabbit, he shouted arrogantly. But like I said, even a lion has to give it his all when hunting a rabbit. I won't go easy on you. I'm taking all those points back in one go. Aki just walked up, calm and steady. Good, you better give it everything you've got. Down below, Shino leaned toward Tomoe and whispered, I'm so curious. What kind of faces will they make if they find out Ann can take down a high-level demon all by himself? And that he even beat the captain of the Pole Star Road in a hand-to-hand spar? She tilted her head. That's why I'm really looking forward to Ann's fight. Zito stood with her arms crossed, lost in thought. And won a sparring match against the Pole Star Road captain? That's getting people's attention. Could he actually be better than me? She teared up a little, feeling resentful deep down. As a captain, I can't be weaker than my own teammates. She remembered what her father had said. That young man is quite something. Do you have any interest in him? She pursed her lips, face flushing slightly, looking annoyed. Ugh, just looking at this idiot makes me think of what Dad said. No way! How can I even be having thoughts like this right now? Suddenly, the referee raised his arm, signaling, then chopped it down. Begin! They both locked eyes, laser-focused, and the fight was on. The guy lunged backward in a flash, his speed so fast it was invisible to the naked eye. I was brimming with confidence. They say 1 inch longer, 1 inch stronger. I'll have you covered in wounds before you can even get close to me.